this long journey playing this game, allowing him to use a lot of diverse hero, which will be very helpful when we're speaking into best of 7.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good point, right? Because we did know about Yino. He came from a Clash Lane jungle background all the way in 2019.
Yeah.
And we did see in the group stage, he played a game of the Baiti farm lane, right?
And also JR on the side of Aurora Gaming, he also played Agudo as a farm lane. So it's going to be very entertaining to see those hero picks by both farm lanes.
But so far in towards this first game draft of this best of 7 here, it's a bit of a difference, right? Going against like a BO3, where BO3 is like, okay, I draft strong, I end the game fast in the 2-1-2-0 series here. But in a BO7, you see picks like a Lian Po. It's not like, yeah, Lian Po's not the greatest compared to a Zhang Fei Lapu Lapu. But you pick it first so you can have more heroes going into Game 4, Game 5, or Game 6.
It's like saving your cards, but still holding your aggression. And I do like the way how AG just secured them this play. Because I feel like play is going to be the vying point for both teams. Because Aura also played very well with this play.
I like that point. Especially we did see Zoe. He played against Zankyu back in the group stage, where it's still the Pei versus Ukyo matchup. But the way that they play is through pushing mid, then invading, avoiding the Ukyo matchup.
Exactly. So actually the junglers confront is going to be very intensive in game 1. And speak of the draft, actually Aurora is targeting at Shen, right? Ban away this Haya and also this Yuhuan.
I want to bring up this specific matchup here. It's Sheng, the FMVP Princess Frost player coming in from KPL, and also Zihong. Zihong is one of the most decorated non-KPL global player that has won KC 2024, KIC 2025, and he lost to Yinwo back in EWC 2024, only 2nd place. So this decorated player right now, after 2 years, back on the same stage at EWC, he's looking to challenge AG.AL.
He's looking for revenge. That's why players are actually looking very serious when they step it up to the stage.
And Nora, there's been a bounty on towards KPL players. I don't know if you know, the Titan Slayer. If any global team beats KPL in a game, only a game, that's $10,000. And if they win a series, that's $100,000 in the bank.
Well, I mean, like last year, we only see 1 point has been gained from KPL Regions team, but that's not AG.AL, right? AG.AL holding being undefeated so far, and just check the previous matchup played with KSG, right? With a clean 4-0. So it's gonna be a tough upcoming matchup for Aurora, but still attractive.
Attractive indeed, because there were signs of moments where Nova Esports back in KWC 2025, they did beat TTG in a 1-game series, but then they got swooped 4-1 later on. So these are moments that are, I wouldn't say, not 100% impossible, because we did see from the interview with Yino, he did mention that global teams has been performing, and maybe, just maybe, they could get 1 game maybe?
And I mean, if we need to pick one team that is standing for non-KPL region team, is going to be Aurora, being as the first place of MKL Spring, right? Holding the title back in their region, so it's gonna be very head-to-head. And since the draft has been done, we can see AG.AL trying to put very high pressure on Zoe's pick with this play, because they are definitely highlighting their top laners and let you know to play Consort Yu play defensively in game 1.
It's always about winning that mid lane 3v3 matchup, right? If you win that mid lane 3v3 matchup, even though the Pei loses to the Ukyo, you can still help Zoe with the help of Sheng and Shuai to invade the jungle aggressively, to play around the map. So this upcoming matchup between Aurora Gaming and AG.AL is gonna be super duper important for the mid trio.
It's you know, it gets me kind of feeling like it's gonna be double A rivalry, right? All for like top A. I mean, like they are really good playing this game, and also for Aurora Gaming this time they picked up really solid draft when they play against AG.AL in this game 1 of best of 7.
It's a single elimination format here, and if you are the underdog like Aurora Gaming, you need to make sure you win the game 1. And if you win the game 1, then maybe you can pace yourself into a comfortable best of 7 against one of the best teams coming in from KPL. But ladies and gentlemen, this is AG.AL coming in from the KPL, the championship defenders of KWC 2025, taking on Aurora Gaming, the champions of MKL.
Let's just dive right into game one. It seems like Pei already got the vision control around the wrist side, trying to make some early invasion happen.
Well, he did spot him early game though. Maybe there will be a much of a steal here. But AG going with their traditional AG style, just clearing up the mid wave and then going into the jungle. I think Zoe, he's going to be an important factor here. He cannot afford any single mistakes in the early game.
I feel like his passing matters a lot. Speak of the early game on the side of AG, because both, actually all three lanes, they need time to farm up. So which make Aurora play so aggressively so far in early game.
Oh, they're punishing Ron so hard in towards that top side here. So this Spike Tail Beast might be going into the hands of Aurora Gaming. They're beautiful stuff thus far, contesting for those early game resources here. But so far, Nora, after viewing these two drafts, who do you think you'll be giving the edge to?
Well, I would say Aurora's draft. I would put all these things on Xiang, this Florentino, because you mentioned that actually Florentino isn't that well, speaking of the winning rate, right, so far in KWC. But Xiang always gonna go for that Florentino per game.
I like that analysis, right? So far throughout the two group stage games that they play, they always pick up the Florentino. And Florentino is one of those heroes that does amazingly against Charlotte, who is not the strongest hero, at the very least in the early game.
Exactly. So I would say they're trying to use their pure mechanics and also their understanding towards this specific hero, try to win against AG on the top lane.
Now, I have a question for you. So I was talking a bit with the side of the KPL casters like Li Zhu and Hinzi. They did mention to me that AG.AL, they are a very strong team because of how fast they farm and how they avoid fights in the early game. So their early game is a bit slow, but when it comes down to the 10-minute mark, 15-minute mark, that's where Yino and Ron starts coming online.
Yeah, so actually AG, speak of this draft, they were just relying on Zoe's pathing and try to guarantee them to have sufficient resources and just even the goal, or even maybe just guarantee the goal lead.
So they're putting so much pressure against JR in towards that bottom side, making sure that Yino actually has more room to visit the Crimson Golem, pick up some gold, and then slowly but surely pace into that timer that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, like AG put a lot of pressure at the bottom, trying to gaining them the winning lane. But as we speak of the top, actually Zhihong made a nice rotation and just forced out Ran's flash on the top.
Comfortable stuff for the side of Ron here. That Winds of Judgment just chunking Xiang out of his health bar. So in this early game, nice knockup onto a Saber here. It's just a bit of a fighting control over to the side of mid lane here. So you don't want to afford any single loss here thus far.
I mean, everything just went so peacefully so far in the 3 minutes. But as we say, AG with those fast rotation, they're trying to build up those winning lists on both side lanes.
And as a global caster perspective, a lot of the global teams has been learning and mimicking the KPL playstyle, especially the AG.AL style, where they look to farm tree man in the mid lane, farm tree lane towards the bottom lane itself, so you can maximize that gold sharing value.
Exactly, and especially guarantee the mid lane clarity. That's the reason why AG.AL and also Aurora just moving groups when they're gaining the vision control around the riverside in the mid.
It is going to be very important here. Top side here, we do see the Gentleman's Touch starting to chunk out Ron here. Ron doesn't have flash for the next upcoming 30 seconds. Zoe
but his
coming in towards the top side here. Xiang has to pop the flash. They're going for an aggressive dive. Xiang managed to escape towards safety here. Ron over diving here. Where does it follow? Zihong still under the tower here. First kill goes over to the side of AG.AL. Zihong managed to escape. Yulong already here finds the stun. Nice disengage coming in from Stry, saving his jungle towards the side of safety here. Overall, 1-for-1 equal for both teams.
I feel like the damage just burst out. You know, I do like the way how AG is being so committed, especially Ran just using his skill to dash in and take that sound down. But the thing is that we can just watch the replay, right? After this takedown, AG actually wastes a lot of skills, so they are just without any hesitation to just retreat. And also because of the impulse rotation, Shy coming in and help his teammate to get away from all this enclosed.
It was a perfect timing coming in from Stry. If Stry wasn't there, that could have been disastrous for the side of AG.AL. But due to their win towards the top side, that first blood, they got immediate access towards that bottom tyrant here. And with that win, they're currently pressuring JR's Aoyin on towards that bottom lane.
And here comes Lapu Saber.
Oh, just taking a bit of a damage here, but at the very least, they managed to clear out the wave. Now, this is the interesting part. Yino on this Consort U does amazingly against some of these heroes who are physical damage because they have skill 2.
Especially for Aoyin, because you can use your skill to easily deny the burst of damage coming out from Aoyin. So that's the reason why you can see like Shen actually rotate a lot at the bottom. I do like, you know, the quick speed that Shen is doing right now to do those rotations.
Yeah, both teams have to really take care of their farm lanes here, either Yinwo or also JR. They need to make sure that if you're playing Ao Yin, you need to find those item power spikes at the 10 to 12 minute mark, then try to beat AG.AL before the late game comes, because late game wise, AG.AL's composition is looking super good, especially that Charlotte, especially the Consort U.
And I mean, speak of the goal difference, actually Aurora Gaming is doing really well, and check Saber's positioning.
Oh, Sheng has no flash. He's forced away. JR taking a lot of damage from that turret here. Has to pop the infinite vast to Saber. No flash. Caught in the middle of the river, but he does get evacuated out. So far, the both games coming in for these two teams is pretty slow and steady here. Just vision for vision, objective for objective.
But I mean, like pretty and steady, it doesn't mean that the goal difference isn't being built, right? Because as we checked, almost like 1,000 goal lead already been in AG's hand.
A gentleman's touch time coming in towards the side of Ron. Ron still has flash. Finding the Blossom refreshes here. Ron may be in danger here. Caught out by the Quadlescent Cubes. He gets taken out by the side of Yulong. It's a 3v1 and Ron gets taken down. Zoe wants more business on towards the side of Saber here. They might be a bit of a re-engage, but Shuai flashes in, finds a Tremor Smash. Engage, finding on towards the side of Zoe. Zoe gets knocked up in towards the air. Gentleman's touch towards the side of Zoe. Counting out him, but Shuai overextending. Gets punished for his mistakes, and that's 2 quick kills going to the side of Aurora Gaming.
It's gonna be a 0-2 trade. I do like the way how Aurora Gaming trying to make those ganks happen. We mentioned about they're trying to put Xiang on the spotlight in game 1, right? That's the reason why they made so many things happen on the top side of the map. And as we can see how determined they are to take Ran down from the replay.
Now the replay with UC Shuai coming in, catching onto a Saber. Saber finding a beautiful flash reposition with the Lapu Lapu ultimate here, zoning Zoe out. And after this point, Shuai engaged with the flash. He can't escape towards safety here, so he's left towards the dust.
I feel like enough controllability can be done by Shuai, but at that time, the damage of that,
that's gonna be pretty difficult without that ultimate here. Yulong getting tagged on by the splash gradation here. Zoe has arrived. There's no pure sky. The teleportation coming in from Zihong to escape his jungler to a safety. Your Wings of Judgment almost sniping him through. Zoe is still going for the chase. Meanwhile, Saber gets taken out by the Azure Golem area here. JR has to expend the flash, but that is AG.AL playing aggressively and stealing away the Azure Golem.
I mean, everything just went so chaotic at the bottom. You can see like the accuracy that Shen is landing his ulti, right? Do a lot of poking damage. That was really close to take Yulong down.
This is the AG.AL tempo, right? They can lose you in kills, but the way that they farm gold, the way that they find resources and make the team play happen, 8 minutes, 2 to 3 in terms of the kills. But gold lead, it's going over the side of AG.AL.
You just mentioned the most fun part to watch AG's playstyle, you know? You can never just concentrate on those kills. Actually, you just need to focus on those resources and also the goal difference.
Yeah, take a look at this. We were talking about, oh yeah, Xiang is winning lane against Ron, but where does Ron goals come from? It's winning against Xiang by 800 gold.
Exactly. And also, he's pushing all those lanes at the side and just gonna distract Aurora's intent.
Gentleman's touch landing onto the side of Shuai. Shuai just only getting poked out slightly here. Meanwhile, all this is happening. Quick and easy tyrant goes over the side of AG.AL. Aurora is losing control over this game slowly but surely, and it's not even a 10-minute mark yet.
Yeah, and because of they lost their tier 1 tower in the mid at such an early stage, so will be suffering from now on to deal with Garuda's ulti, actually.
Garuda's ultimate coming for sure has been really consistent thus far, finding those plays. Topside 1v1 coming in from Xiang's Florentino against Ran's Charlotte here. Xiang gets chunked down dangerously low. He needs to back off slash gradation on towards Xiang. Xiang has to expend the flash. Shuai comes in again. Radiance, pop, finding the kill. That's one good kill on the side of AG.AL. Is there more to play with this upcoming play?
That was so close, but I mean, you know, Ran, this man, he's being so furious, you know, because he suffered a lot during the laning. So after he got enough items, he said, alright, it's gonna be my time to take revenge.
And it's a bit of a deja vu. I'm pretty sure I've seen that play 2 minutes ago, and right now coming towards live, they fight there once again. And without a player on that clash lane coming up from Aurora, towers are just going down left, right, center, and almost to the side of bottom lane as well.
But how you're gonna deal situations like that, right? Because actually isn't going that kind of explosive. Everything just being pushing smoothly but steadily on the side of AG.
I can't answer you this, because if I can answer you, maybe Aurora Gaming has a chance. But so far, at the 10-minute mark, my oh my, already a 5,000 goal lead for AG.AL. I'm worried. How does Aurora even fight for the shadow objective?
I feel like the only thing that Aurora can do right now is trying to prioritize this Nuwa, right? Because Zhihong actually had a longer attacking range compared to Shen's Garuda.
That could be the case, right? Maybe one good annihilation steals this objective here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Quick and easy pickup for the side of AG.AL on the 10th minute mark. And I kind of want to highlight, when we watch KPL games, when we watch plays like this, Zoe is going over aggressively but baiting out the gentleman's touch. But back towards my point. When we watch AG.AL games from KPL, they're a team that plays slow, but when the timer hits at 10th minute, when Yino gets that Daybreaker, they start coming online.
Exactly, so totally scale up. They're looking for some skirmishes when they're trying to take down all those high ground towers.
So much pressure mounting on towards Aurora Gaming's shoulder here. No good engage, no good choices, because AG.AL, impeccable, not giving them a single ounce of opportunity to make a comeback.
Because they are trying to secure the advantage, right? This is very typical AG playstyle. Just get everything well done and make sure that you snowball in it till suffocate your enemy.
11 minute on the dot, 3 minion waves marching in. High grounds are the next target for the side of AG.AL. Bottom side already being taken down. That's a big hole to be worrying about if you are a Aurora Gaming fan.
Especially right now, their HP can easily be shredded down by Garuda's ulti. Not even mentioned to Shuai. This Lianpo is trying to gain enough vision control, being so clean on the side of AG. So I would say Aurora right now, they're just being really painful. Not even mentioned to with the 6,000 gold deficit. But still, they need to make some counterattack happen so that they can guard their own fountain.
Maybe some play on towards Yino, but that's the annihilation. Removed from the pool. Shuai comes in, tries to zone him up. Yino gets a successful takedown on that top tier 3. This is also without the Shadow Overlord. The next upcoming play on this purple Overlord, it might be game over for Aurora Gaming in game 1.
Especially AG.AL is trying to guarantee their advantage by taking those Dark Tyrant. I mean, like game 1. You know what? We always see game 1 in those quarterfinals, in those single elimination went so wild in game 1, right? Everyone's just pushing so hard. But when I play against AG, Aurora just feel a little bit, you know, just can't handle this kind of operation.
When you're against one of the best teams and one of the defending champions coming in as AG.AL, if you're Aurora Gaming, it's really difficult if you don't have the opportunities to do so.
Especially the opportunity is right now at the bottom. They're looking for victory on the side of AG.AL.
Well, they have to clear the way first. Shuai looking for a bit of a play. They're waiting for the Shadow Overlord here. Gentleman's Touch coming in for the side of Xiang, going in towards the back line. Crystal is going dangerously low. Yulong gets jumped in. Yulong gets taken down. Saber going in towards the back line, but what can you find? JR flashing in. Isolates Yino. He gets taken down, but towards the front lane. Zoe and also Ron looking for the game-winning push. Xiang, the final man to fall as AG.AL. They take game number 1 of this best of 7 series.
Game 1, steadily nice push. It's so typical and classic to see AG play in such style. They're just being so sophisticated about when it's gonna be the spawn of the Tyrant, when it's gonna be the lanings, when it's gonna be those neutral objectives, and when it's gonna be our time to close out the game.
Perfectly explained, right, Nora? Textbook gameplay coming in from AG.AL, outfarming their opponents, playing away from their power spike, and in the end, it was really too little too late for Aurora Gaming to find a shot of opportunity to make it back in towards this game 1.
We already seen like how dominating AG is, right, in game 1, but the thing is that if we put ourselves into Aurora's side, it can be really painful and torturing to play a game like this in the first game of best of 7.
In the early game, it was looking very neck and neck between these two teams. Aurora Gaming was still being able to find kills across the gorge. When it comes down to the 8 to 12 minute marks, they started farming fast. They started choking out every single space. Yes, it's 3 to 3 in terms of kills, but 9,000 gold lead at 12 minute mark, and they just chunk out any single opportunity for Aurora Gaming to find a comeback.
And that is a little bit late for them to try to make those comebacks happen.
And thank you so much, Nora. We'll be taking a little bit of break. Let's show it over to the side of the panel to see what they have in store.
And during that break, Sagi, don't eat noodles that are too spicy, because we need you back for game 2, my man. I know you're always doing something like that. Please, please stay safe for us. Sagi, Nora, great call. It's always fun to joke with you and see what happens there. And only 13 minutes or so before AG.AL would take their win. Welcome back to the panel. Rain Day here with Chantel and Haller to talk about the action. Chantel, that was a dominant version of HOK. Perfect was the way that Sagi described it. How would you put it?
Almost the same with SAG. It was a classic textbook HOK. I mean, it started really neck and neck for both of the teams, but at the same time for AG.AL, when they knew that the timers were already there, we just went in for the tower dives, specifically on the top lane. And at the same time, it was around, or it was before the 8-minute mark that they were able to take down the T1 towers.
Yeah.
So that alone shows that they're just playing as how it is expected from them.
Yeah, definitely expected, and I well put there, Chantal. But I think that for me, it's more about the fact that like AG.AL, they're taking fights. They're actually losing at times, but they're still able to extract farm across the map. It seems like no matter what is going on, they're able to outscale you, and nothing slows them down.
It's systematic. And the word might come up if you're a science fiction fan, kind of like Isaac Asimov, I, Robot. There's this like textbook way of going about something, but it's proven again and again that it works. These KPL performances have almost given no hope, no light to work off of and find your way, even for a team like Aurora Gaming, who I think held pretty tight with the gold lead for about at least 6 minutes, but then it slowly but surely started to spread yet again.
I think at some point for Aurora Gaming, the struggle was how will we be able to convert the goal that we currently have, because many moments of the game, yes, there were initiations. They could have won some of the team fights. It's just that when it comes to the map control, it isn't just there for Aurora Gaming. Shuai was all over the place. Even the tower pushes isn't available for the side of Aurora Gaming. And in a game like that, whenever the other team has majority of the towers taken down, it just means that they're bound to control the rest of the pacing of the game.
Yeah, and it's a good point in terms of pace, right? Because I think that once they got a kill, they were completely thwarted. Like the door shut down.
Right.
AG.AL were like, okay, you got one, but you're not getting anything else. You're not getting a tower. You're not getting any person else that's going to be looking to kind of defend.
Yeah.
We'll see some of those in the highlights coming up later.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they have this means, they earn the goal, but then they don't have the means to the end. They deny it. They don't allow you to build off of that. And so you're kind of sitting there saying, well, for what? I mean, I got the kill, but for what? Virtus.pro was leading half of that game in kills, but they were losing in gold. So you're saying this team is just so good at the macro. Holler, I know you got some clips for us on the telestrator, or at least you might have, Chantel. What did you guys see after game one of how AG.AL approached this win?
Okay, so for this one, we'll focus on the team fight. So we'll have Holler explain that. I'll facilitate the telestrator because it's his first time with a telestrator.
Yeah, actually, I'm allergic to technology. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, as we go into this first one, I mean, I kind of want to highlight some of the earlier fights because of the fact that they kind of went in favor of Aurora Gaming, which surprised a lot of people. And I also think at the same time, if you're talking about AG.AL, how would they go? And if we can go on this one, this is kind of the beginning of this. Saber with a nice little play with the Raging Sea, the way that he's able to kind of flash, shift everything, and to, again, get back to safety. At the same time, Shuai, you could see that he was kind of throwing himself in there, trying to protect them as much as possible. And again, Aurora gets the advantage on that one, but again, they're not able to get anything else. All they got was a roam at the end of the day.
And at the same time, this has been a story for Aurora Gaming. So if we look at the screen right now, there's a team fight, yes, at the top lane, but we also have to consider that there's the Nua on the other side of the map, which is the mid lane. For Aurora Gaming, they just continued doing that, but it begs the question, what's next after this? Yes, you have someone to clear the minion wave, but then again, Nua will be late for the next team fight despite having the emergence. So sometimes for Aurora Gaming, it was a 4v5 setup most of the time.
Yeah, and actually, as they're running away, look at them. They all have to go back to the fountain. AG are actually looting and pillaging your jungle right now. So that's how they're getting ahead. Even without Shuai on the battlefield, they're still able to make plays being down a mem.
Yeah, they're using their life, it seems like, as a resource, right? It's not about dying. It's about the fact that now we have 70%. Essentially, you're dead, and we can now turn that into an economic boom.
All right, yep. And as we go into this next one, I mean, it's about that economic boom that you're talking about, where they, again, Shuai, he was just so annoying. All of that vision, but it's just space. They taking a free tyrant, nothing that they could do. Aurora Gaming, again, they're like, okay, we are trying to protect our tower, but that's not the true target. The one was the tyrant here.
Yeah, and it's the same formation. Again, for the side of Aurora Gaming, they also have the Nua on the other side. So yes, it is a good balance when it comes to the hero composition.
for Aurora Gaming, but it would lead them to, I mean, there's a leading time for them to have those power spikes. And it came to a point that for AG.AL, they were a bit fast on grouping up. That's why it's a lot easier for them to set up a place. Plus, again, the map control on the early game. So Shuai did a great job on that. I mean, the conversion of kills into another objective taking was so on point that for Aurora Gaming, it's kind of hard to react on what to do next because they wanted to defend every single bit of the map. It's just that AG.AL isn't giving them the chance.
And actually, Jihong was kind of like that handyman, if you will. Everybody's like, oh, I got a leak here, I got a leak here. And he was like running from place to place
Where do I go?
with the emergence. And I mean, there's only so much you can do. He's not fast enough. He has that one emergence, longer cooldown, if you will. So again, he was kind of, again, just too much supply, not enough, you know, to deal with the demand.
It's difficult for sure to deal with the quality and caliber of players that AG.AL have brought to the table, and they know it too. They're confident coming into it. Sky had a chance before this match to sit down and talk with Inuo.
Here with me is Inuo from AG.AL. Inuo, ni hao.
Yeah.
Now you're coming into this series as the defending KWC champions. Does that title give you extra confidence or does it give extra pressure since you now have to defend the title?
你们这次在 KWC 当中也算是卫冕冠军嘛？那作为卫冕冠军，你个人认为这给你们带来了更多自信心呢，还是更多压力？
会比较自信一点吧，因为我们有过上一次参赛的经历。
I would say that it definitely gives us more confidence because we've got the experience garnered from the last tournament.
Confidence is always a great thing when you come into the tournament. But now you're going to be facing Aurora Gaming. They have conquered MKL in Malaysia. What challenges do you think they will present to AG.AL? Will they make it hard for you?
很高兴也听到你们有这个自信心。但是你们下个对手呢，即将是 Aurora 战队，他们呢也是在马来西亚的 MKL 当中获得了冠军，也是算是一支非常强悍的一支国际战队。那你个人认为他们会给你们带来什么样的挑战呢？
是的，我们跟他们也有训练交手过，他们确实很强。我觉得他们对于给我们的挑战可能是他们的国际服的训练场次比我们更多吧，然后会更了解国际服的版本跟英雄，这点我们可能要比较吃亏一点。
Indeed, Aurora Gaming is definitely a very strong team. We have practiced and scrimmed against them, and they have definitely shown us that they are like the caliber of their skill is very, very high. I'll say that one area that they will definitely pose a challenge for us is that they have much more experience when it comes to the international format and patch, so they have a lot more experience playing matches in the current patch that we're playing in, and this is definitely something that we are a little lacking in compared to them.
I want to see how you're able to adjust with that. But this is a chance also to send a message to your opponent. They get to see this. What would you like to say to them?
那我们也很期待看你们如何应对这样的一种挑战。然后你这也是一次机会，相当于发一些话，让你的对手来发一些话给你的对手。那你有什么话想跟他们说的吗？
没有什么话，加油吧。
I don't really have much to say to them, so just do your best.
He's going to say everything inside the gorge. And now let's head back to the studio. Lead the gorge.
I love it. Well, just let the game do the talking for you. Holler, that is hard to argue with, especially as we see that exclusive Princess Frost skin on display here heading into EWC. Fun to see, but again, all on display, not only the trash talk, which there wasn't much of, but certainly enough to get the job done with an early win.
Definitely, and I think it's more about respect at this stage, right? I think that on the international stage, where you're playing against teams that, again, might not be to your level, it's okay to be a little bit more humble in that sense. If it was more equal, at least for me, I would be letting the other team at it.
But, you know, AG.AL, they're defending champions. They're back to try and get their title. They have to respect their journey because it's a journey ultimately they know how to get through, and it requires treating every game as if it's your last.
And it's a good trait for a team like them because they know that there might be differences, but at the same time, they don't compromise whatever it is that they can offer, because we've mentioned about the differences in terms of adjusting to the patch. Probably Aurora Gaming has more experience with what we're having right now, but in terms of the macro focus on the game, I think that's where AG.AL stands up.
Yeah, I think it's funny that in the interview, Yuno was talking about patches, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're playing Honor of Kings at the end of the day.
That's right. And so let's send it over to Sagi and Nora to get our second game in this best of 7 final series of the day. AG.AL trying to go 2-0 over Aurora Gaming.
Thank you, Randy, and the panel here. Welcome back to game number 2. It's going to be Sagi and Nora once again bringing you the live action of this draft. And Nora, so far after looking at Aurora Gaming's gameplay, what do you think they have to improve to break the cycle if they don't want to face another 0-4 big loss against like the Titans of AG.AL?
I mean, go for the team fights, because we know that Aurora are really aggressive in the early game, right? But as for AG.AL, game 1, I know everyone just been amazed by their impeccable micros playstyle, but I'm gonna tell you this, it's like their signature playstyle, but it's not their only playstyle. Actually, AG can go for a more furious one, more explosive one, so I'm looking for these kind of drops that they're gonna do.
I think that makes a very good sense, right? Like, we saw how the game was 3-3 in terms of kill up until, what, the 10th minute mark? And AG.AL was just pushing Aurora Gaming to a choke point. 3 towers down, 8,000 gold lead, and Aurora Gaming, yes, they found the fight, but the Crystal, it was too far gone. So jumping in towards this draft, I like what you mentioned. Yeah, you can't out-rotate AG.AL, so Aurora Gaming, you need to fight early game, and early game is Chicha, Byron, Higher. These are super duper strong in the early part.
It's really solid for them to do all those initiations, especially with this Higher pick that I do want to highlight. And also we mentioned about the patch, right? Actually, there's several different compositions that you can go for, and as AG.AL is trying to go for another competition, which will be a little bit more furious, it's gonna be a chance for Aurora to gain.
And I like this, right? Lorien, Lapu-Lapu, we always see in towards the group stage and play in some of the AOV teams, some of the other global teams. They like to pair the Lorien with an engaged roamer so you can form that, I would say, 5-second crowd control up into the sky.
Yeah, like double knockup, right? It's gonna be huge. And also about the bans, I do like the way how they ban with this Agudo and also Flowborn tank, right? Directly targeting at Zoe, and also try to prioritize the Haya played by Jihong.
Makes a good sense. Like, you don't want to hire to go against like the Agudo that can cleanse the ultimate link, or the Flowborn tank that we did see the side of Zoe played once against the side of, if I'm not mistaken, Vitality in towards the group stage, which he was indestructible for the first 10 minutes of the game.
So true. So actually, the controllability is definitely enough on the side of Aurora. The only thing is that how they're gonna do all those burst cell damage by a clean assassin jungler. That's what I'm looking for.
They definitely need to, because they are also leaving the final pickup here for the side of Zoe in towards that last pick. If you view AG.AL's draft, it's back towards game 1. Slow and steady wins the race. Give room to Ran, give room to the side of Yinor to scale in towards those big item power spike. That's the AG.AL playstyle. So for Aurora Gaming, pick 4, pick 5, it's gonna be very crucial for them to have an aggressive jungle, invade against AG.AL, disrupt their farming tempo.
But I mean, since Pei and also Jin has been taken away, what might be the potential option that we can see by Yulo? Maybe Luna. That's what I'm looking for.
That is very comfortable. Take a look at AG.AL's draft. Not a lot of crowd control, and your final pick, potentially a jungle one, is gonna be the Ying that's being picked up by Zoe in that jungle here. So I am actually quite in favor of Aurora's gaming early game.
Okay.
If they can break AG.AL in small team fights, in jungle invasions, this could be AG.AL's chance of maybe finding a crack in their own armor.
But I do like the way how they use this Ian as a jungler, because it's really well-rounded, and it kind of just prioritizes the both side lanes on the side of AG.AL. So again, it's going to be the farming prioritized on the side of AG.AL, and the mid game is going to be really explosive.
And talk to me a bit about AG.AL's overall history, right? I heard that in KPL, they had like a 6 KPL winning streak, and if you include EWC, and last year, that's 7 titles in a row without losing any single BO7 series in a row.
And on top of that, that's the reason why I do like the question 1 that Mara asked to Ino, right? Whether it's going to be extra pressure or it's going to be a extra confidence. And as you said, over 2 years, AG.AL is kind of been putting into the micro score, right? Everyone's researching on them, but as they did, 7 consecutive championships. That's what they got.
That's what champions and legacies are made of here. And this will be Game 2 of Aurora Gaming facing off the KPL Titans, AG.AL. If Aurora loses one more, it's going to be 0-2, and they will be getting so much more pressure on Yoru's shoulders.
And I do like to highlight the strategy that Aurora is doing in their draft. Actually, there's 3 signature heroes that Aurora has. One is Florentino, one is Luna, and another is a flex farmling Agudo. So game 1, Florent denied. Game 2, it's time for Luna.
Hey, it's about bringing out all your cards here, making sure that you face off AG.AL in a very strong start, because like we mentioned, the power ranking for KPL teams are just way above global teams. So if you don't whip out all your strong picks in the early game, in the early series, you might not be able to whip them out in the late game.
And speaking of the early game, it's definitely going to be the top side again. Ren just suffered so much into this matchup, I feel
He's
like.
getting targeted so hard by the side of Zihong and also Xiang. Meanwhile, bottom side here, JR has to play the defensive side, suffering from the pokes coming in from Shuai and also Yinwo.
But still, JR also need to suffer a little bit, right? Play so defensively at the bottom, because Irene is going to be the core player in this game too.
It has been a bit of a repeat, right? Always JR suffering for the side of Aurora Gaming, Xiang being the strong side, and for the side of AG.AL playing for Yinwo. But take a look at mid lane here. Nice knockup coming in for the side of Saber, but they do disengage. Xiang in no man's land has no flash. That's a 3v4, but AG.AL, they still hold their grounds.
And also they're looking for more resources to do so. As you can say, Shuai, this position is kind of threatening.
Popping the Sacred Tree Blessing here, finding Xiang towards the back line. They don't need to kill him, they just need to make him lose all the minions. And take a look towards the bot lane. Zoe coming in, gets the Spear Wheel, gets an isolated First Blood on towards the side of JR, and that's just not over yet. Yulong going for the 1v1, unlimited Moon Dance, but he disengages. It's Zihong flashing in, coming in with the Moonskin Mirage, abducting the side of Zoe in for 1v1, but he's still alive. He's still tanky, but Zihong takes him down for a 1-for-1 trade.
It's gonna be the 1-1 trade. I mean, like, everything just went so wild in game 2. That's what we're talking about. AG, they can definitely make a lot of things happen in the early game by that tower dive. You know, did a nice reset upon the HP trade. But as Zhihong just rotate down, constellation effort.
Oh, he gets level dated, and he's another easy kill going over the side of AG.AL. Kills are fine, but missing minions, missing gold like this is painful for the side of Aurora Gaming all around.
Because as you can see, they're a little bit busy about how they're gonna holding all those troubles that made by AG so far. They're trying to make a lot of things happen and gaining the vision control.
And the roam coming in for the side of Sheng is just so on point. Xiang burns the flash towards the mid lane, and then Sheng comes in and makes the play, and he gets taken down easily.
Yeah. And Aurora, again, Limpo just rotate down, try to protect JR a little bit, but as you can see, Ino is definitely farming out very well at the bottom so far.
Usually when we pick the Chicha, we want the Chicha to win the lane. But this is not winning lane. This is just being pummeled in lane by the side of Ino here. This is going to be a very difficult situation for Aurora Gaming, but at the very least, it's better because they have more aggressive tools.
And speak of the suffering, especially for Yulong, right? This Luna this time. Luna also need time to farm up, and it is only gonna reach to his power bike along maybe like 8 minutes.
Yeah, 8 minutes, level 12, then we see Yulong start dancing around the team fight. You make a very good point. At the very least, there's not a lot of crowd control coming in from AG.AL to stop this Luna.
Just some skirmishes happening at the side lane, and they're doing some tower trades. I do like this decent tower trades. But as we can see, AG already getting their hands on the Sirens, guarantee them the first Siren in game 2.
How do they defend this Crimson Golem here? It's insight for AG.AL. They respect it. They back off. Still, a tower trade-up pickup here. Now you can see the goalie. Only 4 minutes, but 1.5k goalie in favor of AG.AL. Aurora Gaming, they need to start forcing fights.
And also you can see the discipline that they are right now, right? Because actually the red buff was open on the side to the side of AG.AL, but they didn't really commit into that.
Yes, just a playstyle difference here. Ryan coming in, gets caught out by the Storm Strike here. Once going up again by the knockup coming in from Saber, but he gets disengaged. He walks out, just only having to burn the flash. Meanwhile, all this is happening. Yino, Zoe, safely, happily farming in that Crimson Golem area.
And that's the micro that we are talking about, the details, right? When you're doing all those 2 versus 3 or 1 versus 3, you're actually saving your numbers to do all those farm up jobs.
It's about opening up the vision for your team. Sheng, good reposition. Escape towards Yulong. Yulong gets taken so much damage coming in from the side of Zoe. But to your point as well, it's about baiting the enemy to waste time on you, and then the main carries like Yino and Zoe, Ran can start farming those minion waves.
And I mean, those mobility that AG has kind of gonna be the hurdle for Yulong's Luna this time. Because as long as Luna's ulti is denied during the team fight, it's gonna be such a great trouble that that Aurora needs to deal with.
High risk, high reward pick, right? You can't miss those ultimate refreshes here. My eyes are set on Zihong on that Haya pick. He needs to force something nice. Storm Strike coming in for the side of Xiang. But where's the follow-up here? Xiang gets launched up by the elevation. Moonscape Mirage isolating the side of Zoe in towards a 1v1. We do see all the players coming in towards the A. Yino escaping from the Tremor Smash. But there's just no follow-up here. Zoe getting tagged on by Yulong. Yulong takes 1 kill over to the side of Zoe here, only trading Saber. Meanwhile, Xiang gets isolated by Sheng, making it a 2-4-1. But it's not over yet. Yulong still has a stack. Refreshes on Sheng. Sheng, nice fast to escape towards safety. Yulong is on the run, closing out by 4 members, and he gets taken down by the AG.AL members.
And make it to a 1-3 trade. You can see like how long does it extend? Speak of this kind of team fight, so many layers that we can see, right? First, Haya's ulti did a really nice job grabbing the most crucial hero on the side of AG. But just check the positioning, check Ino's positioning, right? Play around with both bushes and Ran and also Schweiz protecting him, make sure that he can doing all those output like in a comfort way.
The Raging Sea Flash coming in from the side of Schweiz, disengaging JR, and then splitting up the team fight. Yulong was all alone, getting targeted by multi-man. Yeah, he did trade Zoe, but he loses more because all his teammates were dead.
And because he's a little bit overcommitted to get that blue buff away from AG.AL, which made him to be a little bit dangerous and also like, reckless jumping into the jungle on the other side.
I would say increased aggression coming in from AG.AL. If game 1 was slow and steady, farming and also scaling, game 2 is about taking every single fight that Aurora Gaming is trying to push and then countering them with style.
And actually fight, it's gonna be an opportunity for Aurora to grab.
Well, take a look at Yulong here. He's looking for some refresh onto his Schweiz so he can actually jump onto his Sheng. But AG.AL, they're playing it really slow and steady here, only getting information and only playing if they see vision on the map.
The reason why they're just gathering around this tier 1 tower is trying to take the tier 1 tower down and at the same time allowing Ran to be sneaked into the background.
And they also have the timer coming in for this Crimson Golem here. Bot side wave is looking really, really good. Moonscape Mirage abducts Ran into that 1v1. Beautiful flash reposition coming in from Yino, isolating Xiang. Meanwhile, towards the backline, Yulong finding a beautiful flight, but Saber is the one to first fall. What is the follow-up coming in from the side of AG.AL? Because they are just isolating every single target as JR falls as well. This is looking disastrous for Aurora Gaming.
I mean, this is the discipline that we are always talking about when we're speaking of this Titanic AG.AL. You can see like they're kind of a little bit harassed by Lunas coming in, but as Yulong's ulti was denied, so as long as they spot that, they're just gathering around and play with this Irene, make a nice pushback.
And when Haya doesn't have gold, you can't kill the 1v1 in time. When Ran comes out, he still has so much healing on that Sacred Tree Blessing. So all these fights, yes, it has been engaged by AG.AL, it has been engaged by Aurora Gaming, but it has never gone in the way of Aurora Gaming. AG.AL is dissecting them step by step.
So that's the reason why already, like we can see a lot of team fight happens, but Aurora seems to be a little bit behind.
They are behind. Zihong once again pushing Zoe into a 1v1 brawl. Ran just zoning off Xiang, trying to give some vision here. Sheng finding the knockup here, misses the timing here, but towards the backline, Zoe goes dangerously low. The side of Yulong still finding a limited moon dance. Shot has to pop the flash, but where else can you go? Ran has a nice position here. He wants to defend his team, so they respect it, but Yulong still playing with fire here. 1-for-1 trade between the jungle and also roamer for both teams.
I mean, the consistency that Yulong has with his ulti allowing them to do so, right? Just check the replay. After the ulti from Zhihong has been denied, you can see Yulong just getting in, putting in such a beautiful chasing.
It was a good play, nonetheless coming in from Saber. Yes, he's 0-3-1. But if he didn't stop Yino in that chase, things could look even more disastrous for Aurora Gaming as we pace into the 10-minute mark. Shadow objectives are available for both teams.
And I mean, like 5,000 gold lead already been holding in AG's hands, so definitely they are going to be a little bit intimidated when we speak of this mid-game team fight.
Well, Yino is slightly slow towards this play here. Shadow objective started by the side of Aurora Gaming. Yulong goes in towards the backline, finds a refresh on towards Sheng. Sheng has to pop the flash. Meanwhile, Xiang gets CC down, and he will be out of the fight for the next 30 seconds here. Yulong finds a beautiful knockup with the help of Saber here. Ron gets isolated. Ron gets taken down. That's a 2-4-2 in favor of neither team as of now. They isolated here. So, at the very least, Aurora Gaming, they have jungle, they have smite. How do they play this?
They're going in, they're going in. Aurora is being so committed to get this Siren down, but here comes Strike getting in, trying to make some harass happen, but with the smite that Aurora has, they got a Tyrant, but well, AG let them go. Shard being unstoppable, take that Luna down, and they're chasing for another Saber. Saber is not his way home, but AG.AL, with their experience and mechanics that they have, they're just going rampage.
3v3, yes, you get the Shadow Tyrant, but in the end, you lose the kills, you lose the buff, and with this gold lead, they can go for Shadow Overlord and start the AG.AL playstyle.
I mean, like, everything just went so optimistic at the first hand on the side of Aurora Gaming, right? Elon just keeps standing there, and also the double knockup, that was really decent, guaranteed to the Tyrant. But I do like the way how AG is making those constellation effort, right? First let Eno to take that tier 1 tower down in the mid lane, and then get back to the Tyrant camp and just enclose the whole spot.
And you always see very good teams, like the KPL teams, like KSG, AG.AL. The double carries never stand together. Yino is on one side, Sheng is on one side, and they get isolated here. But back towards this team fight here, we do see an abduction coming in on towards Try. Yulong is already out of the fight. Saber goes in all the way deep. JR comes in from the back, isolates Yino. This could be Aurora's gaming chance as they take down Sheng as well. Zoe, he's being cornered into 4 different members here. He might be taken down as well as JR and Zilong. They're closing in. They do get 3 quick kills from the hands of AG.AL. They are looking for a comeback.
I mean, Aurora is definitely making for a comeback, and when they're trying to make all these things happen, it's gonna be JR stepping on the stage.
That was a beautiful flank coming in from both JR and Saber, finding Yino, finding Shen, and the CC layering was just beautiful.
And because Yulong was getting in, but Yino with his flash out, he just denied Luna and also his ulti. But as they think, alright, it's gonna be safe enough, it's gonna be JR dashing and just being so devastating.
We've seen a few of these plays, right, where even KSG VP, they like to flank from the back, they like to find the angles. These are moments that you need coming as Aurora Gaming, the underdogs in the series.
And not only for JR, but also for the whole team, right? It's just bringing them the momentum and kind of like the confidence that, alright, speaking of the team fight, we are capable enough to do it head-to-head.
They're coming in as a challenger. They are hungry for that $10,000 here, Aurora, because if they win one game, that's 10K in the bank for Aurora Gaming.
And I mean, that was a 5,000 gold difference, but right now it has been narrowed down into 3,000.
Ron finding Xiang in for 1v1. The elevation, forcing out the flash coming in from Xiang. It's a good cooldown to be removed for the next upcoming 2 minutes.
But as Ran just getting stabbed into the bushes, gaining enough vision control, they're just guaranteed that it's going to be so clear around the riverside.
The next 50 seconds will be really crucial for both teams. This Shadow Tyrant might be a game changer if both teams want to fight for this.
So they are preparing for this crucial team fight. Everyone just playing surround this Tyrant. And also Eno got this red buff always on him. He can do constant output damage.
Yulong has to run for the hills, but he has no flash. Oh, very close coming in for the side of Yulong here. His ultimate just came up from refresh here. Try.
I mean, double flash being denied on the side of AG. That might be Aurora's time.
It might be. It just might be right now. So no flash on Sheng, Yino, and Shuai. Aurora Gaming, they have the control over the river right now.
So AG.AL need to play extremely cautious. Speak of the upcoming team fight.
Got 5 seconds on the dot, but Minion Wave has been sent in by AG.AL so they can actually move smoothly in towards this river control here. Zihong finding an abduction. Where can
Aurora
he find?
On their way. They know they got the advantage.
Okay, Moon's Mirage landing on towards Shuai. Both teams are fighting over this Shadow Tyrant. JR gets spotted out by the side of Yino here. Who gets it? It goes over the side of Zoe. That's a crucial steal. So the fight continues here. Beautiful Lapu Lapu ultimate towards the backline here. JR going in towards the backline, finding Eno, isolates him for a 1v1. But 2 members down for Aurora Gaming, and JR, that's not your base. He will be taken down, and he will pay for his over-aggression.
I mean, double kill goes over to Shen, make it as a 1-3 trade. You can see Aurora, they are really determined and maybe like over-committed to take Eno down. They feel like, okay, it's gonna be our only mission to take that Eno down. But check though, with the Dragon Theft round, they're buying them time and turn the table around.
That's the thing, you get Eno, but the Tyrant, the kills, still go in favor for AG.AL. 5,000 gold lead for the next 40 seconds on that Shadow Tyrant here. This bottom tier tree, it might be going down.
I mean, the Tyrant matters so much, and also that might be the pivot of whole game 2.
Slow but steady. I like the team fights coming in for the side of Aurora Gaming, but it is a bit overzealous trying to dive on one single target.
And I mean, kind of frustrating to know, because you already got the advantage. You already trade like free flash on the side of AG. You thought like you might win the upper hand, but the problem is that Zoe comes in and grabbed the Tyrant, and at last they just made it as a 0-3 trade.
Like personally for me, Shuai and Sheng has been phenomenal in this game, and they have been layering so much crowd control in these team fights.
So it's gonna be the minions on their way, and meanwhile back on the battlefield with the red buff, trying to poking down those damage. And Lapu Lapu ulti in. Xiang has been taken extremely down. Flash being forced out. It seems like AG.AL is trying to close out the game.
The minion waves will be marching soon, surely here, but they're taking a bit of a break. They want to back off. They're like, guys, let's show down. Want to end this game without any single mistake. Shadow Overlord is still available for grabs coming in for both teams.
They're trying to snowball the game to a secured result.
Slowly. Oh, Yulong finds a 1v1 against Ron. Smite already burned here, so this is gonna be a free and easy Overlord that will be secured by AG.AL. Clock's taking Aurora Gaming. This might be the game-winning push.
But I mean, like for Aurora, the only thing that they can do is rely on not only Highest ulti, but also JR, right? Shusha has made so many things happen so dramatically, just overturn the whole team fight. But will JR do it at the same time?
Ron is so good at this. He cleared out the bush, and JR, my buddy, he's isolated. Eno gets pulled into a 1v1 with the side of Zihong and out of side of this fight. Yulong is finding the refreshes here. They're kiting. They're waiting for Eno. Eno, he gets taken down. Safe Sanctuary coming up. Yulong finds the assassination here and still finds the refresh. Ron still has the Safe Sanctuary going in deep. Meanwhile, minions are marching through the bottom side. Overlord takes down the final tier tree with a 4v3 in favor of AG.AL. Are they still going for it? Ron pops the ultimate. They are looking for the game-winning time.
Double knock-up. That's really beautiful. Can be seen on the side of AG.AL. They're holding their vanguards, getting into the crystal, but still trying his best. Use his happiness, and also Yulong dash in again, just playing in such a deft way. He's aiming at this back, but the crystal is being taken extremely low, and game 2 goes over to AG.AL.
What a performance coming in from both teams, but the experience, the macro knowledge coming in from AG.AL is just far superior in this game too.
But I feel like there's like more back and forth that we can see, right, in game 2 compared to game 1. I mean, Aurora Gaming also did a really good job in game 2, but the thing is that AG.AL, they're not only good at microing or snowballing the game till the end, they're also known for their resilience and also make all those things happen when we're turning into the drawback.
It's about the 10th minute team fight that AG.AL always has miraculously, right? It's always that thing where they're well farmed up, Eno is slow to the fight, but Zoe finding that crucial steal on that Tyrant, just turning things around for the side of AG.AL in that pinch of a moment.
And as you can see, because we highlight Eno a lot from this Iron, right? They kind of just make Aurora feel like the only mission that they need to go for is take Eno down. But the thing is that when we're stepping into the late game, right? Both Lan and Shen, these heroes are also going to be very powerful in the late game.
This Lorian, this Lapu Lapu has been phenomenal in this game. The way that they layer the crowd control, yes, you can see he's getting targeted down, but he repositions himself all the way to the side lane here, giving room to rejoin the fight later on when his cooldowns are up and available.
And I do want to highlight the last team fight when Ran just getting into that bush and denied JR, which we mentioned might be the miracle maker on the side of Aurora, denied at the very first place.
We thought it was going to be an Aurora Gaming team fight when they abducted Eno and got him down. But Ron's late game Fatih, that was a really beautiful sight to behold, and this was the crucial kill tap coming in from Zoe. So what? He's 2-5-1. He finds the steal, he sets his team up for success, and Eno gets taken down. And that is Ron going for that final play. But that's coming in from us. Let's check with the panel to hear what our experts have in store for us.
Well, you know what? I'd love to give myself the title of expert, but I don't think I need to be one to see what AG.AL are doing. And that's not to take away from Aurora Gaming. It is just to state the obvious, what is on your screen. We call it the eye test. What's being seen here? It's completely what we expected from our KPL representatives, the defending titles champions, the Kadia City title defenders as well. Welcome back to the panel, Rainday and Chantel and Holler. And to me, one of the interesting things about this matchup was we got a chance to kind of ask the question, how has the MKL measured up? It's been a minute since they've fought against each other on the international stage. We know how good Aurora Gaming has been, recent champions of that league. Holler, I'll start with you. What's the, after 2 games, takeaway so far with what you've seen that you've liked from Aurora, but also where the disparity might still be with AG.AL?
Great question. I mean, to start things off, I'm like a proud parent at the end of the day, right? Because it seems like this is a team that, I mean, they're definitely the underdogs. You're seeing that right here.
Yeah.
Game 1 wasn't so great, but game 2, they're getting better.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more and more engrossed into this one. And I'm like, oh yeah, go my little kids, go.
What about you,
We were
Chantel?
like cheering all throughout the game because for Aurora Gaming, they knew the strength of their lineup. They really forced every team fight against the AG.AL because we know AG.AL is a type of team that clearly has this vision, or like they're a team that has this vision board. Okay, at 3 minutes we'll do this. 4 minutes, this is gonna be the story of our game. But for Aurora Gaming, what they did was they brought chaos to that early game control of AG.AL has. It's just that for AG.AL, there's this way again. I mean, it was Aurora Gaming doing the 6-7 gesture, but it's like AG.AL doing the weighing all throughout the game.
Right. I think it's funny that you're kind of thinking that like AG.AL has that vision board, because on the other side, if you're looking at Aurora Gaming, it seems like they're trying to manifest things, right? They're forcing things a little too much at times.
Yeah.
Yes, it's early. Yeah, they're going for kills, but unfortunately, AG.AL just too strong and again structured.
It's all about structure because I think, yes, Aurora Gaming was winning mostly of the team fights. It's just that if we look at the entire game, it was always AG.AL on the lead in terms of gold. So it all boils down again to the macro aspect of things, taking the jungle, controlling the map, taking down the towers. Because if it's heavy on team fight, definitely Aurora Gaming was winning the early game.
Yeah.
But for AG.AL, okay, let's just wait for our power spikes. And then if Eno already has the items, already has the kit to go full force on heavier team fights or extended team fights, then we go full all in.
Yeah, and actually kind of Aurora Gaming, they're like almost forcing fights. It's very weird. You don't see this too much, especially when they're playing the other global teams. It seems like they were more fighters than lovers. Not to say that AG.AL are more lovers than fighters. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do think that there's a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of play style, right? I mean, AG.AL, very cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, they seem to be. And I love the way that they've approached this fight again. You feel like there's a meaningful change that a team can make to stop this, to force their hand, to say, let's make you make a mistake, and we'll be right there to catch you. Aurora Gaming playing a little cat and mouse, but ending up still being the mouse in that trade. Chantel, you got some clips though on these fights. What have you taken away from game 2?
Okay, definitely again for game number 2, let's show some of the positioning of the players. This is around 10 minutes of the game, 11 minutes of the game. So
It kind of just, a little bit of a start. I mean, this is one where you're kind of seeing just like Aurora Gaming, they get caught out of position many a times. It seemed like, I mean, not to say that they didn't know what side they were on, but they were going more to the red side multiple times, and they got caught out, at least in this one here.
it is more like an emphasis that some of the players aren't in the right position given the current situation of things, because this by far, this is an overextension already for Saber. So again, it's about them forcing every entry against the formation here of AG's defense. And for another clip, this was around almost 12 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and this is a moment where I was thinking, okay, Aurora Gaming have found it. JR with the perfect flank, and then that's what they actually caught him off guard. Sometimes AG.AL didn't expect them to be there, and the positioning, again, the way that they've been able to ambush, Aurora Gaming has been able to surprise.
And you know what, for Aurora Gaming, the strength during that game was them knowing that the hero composition of AG heavily relies on the positioning of the heroes. I mean, you need to be at first having Ran up front, Zoe as well on the setup plays. But then again, because of them forcing a team fight, sometimes there are a bit of moments wherein they actually won that initiation.
Yeah. And again, just with the catch-up. I mean, the kills are one thing, but then this is that moment. We were talking about the fact that the main 3 cores from AG were all down in terms of the flashes, but the way that AG were able to navigate it, Zoe gets that steal, completely changing this game on its head, if you will, and they just took over this game. And this is why AG.AL, no matter what the odds are, no matter how many skills are on cooldown, they're ready to fight and they will dismantle you.
I think also that steal from the objective was also the turning point for AG.AL that means that they're bounded to win that game, because I kind of feel like in that moment everything is so on point. They know how to seclude or isolate. It's more in the isolation, I guess, for AG.AL on that skirmish.
You know what, going for his 3rd EWC Championship, AG.AL trying to go back-to-back here as well. And they seem to have gotten all the answers right with the draft. You mentioned there were some team fights Aurora pushed because they were able to, and they were kind of pigeonholed in taking the fight a certain way, which might just be an indicator of how they need to move into this game 3, which is isolate a key win condition for AG.AL. Don't allow them too much space to operate. Don't allow them too many ways to win this fight, and then take advantage of it. Obviously easier said than done, but what can you do to start that? Is it taking away some of these like bigger, broader heroes in the ban pick that can do multiple roles? How would you approach this, Holler?
All right, I don't look at this as like hero problem. I think the drafts have been fine.
Okay.
It's all been about execution. I think, Chantel, you rightly pointed out when the game was going on, there was a fight where, you know, AG.AL didn't have the full numbers there because Yunoa was pushing in the mid lane.
I think that was during a Tyrant take, but they knew that even though they were to take or contest for that objective, majority of the skills of the other team was not available for an extended team fight. So again, it's them weighing doing the 6-7 thing.
It is a very close one. I mean, 2-0. When you talk about KPL teams and you look at even our first semifinal of the day or quarterfinal of the day, it was a lot farther away. The disparity was clear. This moment feels like if Aurora can turn 1 into 2 into 3, they might actually do it. $10,000 on the line for just 1 game win. Will it be in game 3? Let's send it over to Sagi and Nora to find out.
Thank you, panel. Thank you, Rain Day here. Beautiful insights as always here. And to your question, can Aurora Gaming take 1 game or find signs of life in this BO7? What do you think?
Well, I mean, like we mentioned about the 3 cards that Aurora Gaming has, right? 1 Florentino, 1 for Luna, and the last one will be a Gudo farm. I'm looking for the potential play in Game 3.
Usually when we see through their group stage games against Rock Esports, against the side Influence Rage, we have seen Aurora Gaming, they utilize the Agudo as a flex. It's not only in jungle, they always play it in farm lane, usually against the Flowball Marksman.
And usually you can see like in the previous 2 matchups, JR actually suffered a lot during the laning, right? So if they want to highlight JR in Game 3, they need to give him some like more powerful hero at the bottom.
Yeah, and toward these bans I'm looking at, right? Are we going to get a Dino early because Chano is not available? The idea is banned.
That's potential.
That's potentially going to be the Yino early lock in. There we go.
I mean, I always love Ino playing with this early, right? Because it's one of his signature hero with the FMVP skin. And speak of the FMVP, actually, Ogren hasn't been used on the side of Zoe yet.
No Ogren, no Princess Frost, and this is the first game of Arlie coming in towards the BO7. And we practice the global ban pick here, so once you use it, it's not going to be available. And to your point, Nora, that's going to be the Agudo being locked in for the side of Aurora Gaming. Since they're on red side, they can flex this all the way to the last pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally going to be a flex pick, but due to their previous matchup, it's potentially played by this JR. But the thing is that 2 cards that they're very confident with already been denied. So, well, JR saved the team in Game 3.
It's not a choice. It's a 100% thing that he has to try for, because if he loses here, it's match point for AG.AL. And if you're a match point, how do you climb back from such a deep hole?
Very tough.
4 games in a row, and that 4 games, includes the ultimate battle.
It's going to be very, very tough. And especially when AG.AL as an answer to this Agudo pick that we just analyzed with this Hano.
So smart, right?
So smart to use Hano's first ability and try to poke down among Agudo's little monsters that she has.
Like when you spawn a little monsters, like the jungle monsters coming in from Agudo spell 1, that's just free spear targets coming in from the side of Sheng on the Hano. So that's going to be a very, very worrying part because you need to have more burst damage. I like the Lorien here. Lorien is one of Zihong's best picks thus far. I've heard it a lot in their practice matches, but he has picked this almost every single series and he has lost one if I'm not mistaken.
So with such a high winning rate, he's gonna play against Shen. To be honest, Shen played so well today, right? All those CC control that he landed, and this time he's going to make sure that he got the vision control around the tier 1 tower. And of the drop, speaking step into it, it's gonna be Luna and Guan Yu has been taken away, and Mo Zi with this Koso Yu at the bottom. Definitely it's gonna be such a decent winning lane, so AG just denied that.
And they're really forcing this Agudo pick into the bottom lane. I feel that with the farm lanes all banned away, are you going to go for the floorboard marksman? That could be the case and formulate a double standard lineup. Or you could potentially play the Agudo jungle and pick a winning matchup for the farm lane. These are available options for the side of Aurora Gaming to actually figure out.
And that's the most clever part, to flex this Agudo, and they're taking now this Dolia. It's kind of, giving me that feeling that they are denying the Dolia with Yang Jin pair away from AG.
That's a very smart approach. You can also see like Luna has been banned away, so we have seen players just pick up the Yang Jin without the Dolia. That is also a key pickup coming in from side of AG.AL if you want to dismantle this duo that we might be seeing here. And if we were to zoom out from the draft, Aurora Gaming is the only MKL team that might be not going to semifinals if they lose to the side of AG.AL.
I mean, not even mentioned too, they are seeding into KWC as the seed of MKL region. So definitely a lot of pressures on Aurora this time. And also speak of AG, Umbrosa on the top, and with this Nerja directly targeting, as neither is going to be a marksman Agudo or farm lane or jungler Agudo.
Well, we'll find out in the next 25 seconds here. But judging from the AG.AL draft, this is so AG coded. Every single hero late game.
A lot of like individual performance can be seen at that point. All right, here we go. It's gonna be a Agudo marksman again on the side of JR.
Oh my god. It's a signature pick as of this point. So far, yes, it's only 50% win rate. But he has been having crazy KDAs thus far on this Agudo farm lane. And if they need a surprise pick coming in for such a clutch match, potentially match point for AG.AL, this is the time to bring it out if you are Aurora Gaming.
I mean, the laning definitely matters a lot, right? Whether JR can build up himself a winning lane at the bottom, or they're gonna be so suffering because the way that how they're using this Dolia, trying to, take it away from the possible Yang Jin and Dolia pick on the side of AG, just kind of give them little initiation on their own side.
At the very least, they have a lot of healing, right?
It's kind of like a double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword, but if you can land the ultimate Gorge mobilization on Agudo on the enemy, that could be some of your engaged tools potentially for the side of Aurora Gaming here. But let's bring it in towards the Gorge. Let's save the talk. This is AG.AL looking for their match point in this game tree with Aurora Gaming fighting for survival, looking for that 1 point.
AG already been moved into groups. This time we should put Zoe and Shen under the spotlight.
Yeah, show your MKL skill, prove your strength. That's the comment coming in from Metro VSN to give more support towards the side of MKL. Saber here looking to play a bit of disruption on towards the side of Ryan. So that's going to be a quick and easy wave clear at the very least for Aurora Gaming.
And I feel like Ryan has already been very used to this kind of painful suffering throughout the whole matchup so far today.
I've been seeing Xiang, Zihong Saber, every single game come in towards the side of Ron. It's like, knock knock, is Ron in home? Yeah, it's gonna be us three again. I hope you don't welcome us,
But it's kind of show that the understanding on the side of Aurora, that they know the important about gaining those teleportation tunnel and also those mini monster.
It's true. You need to build those gold leads, share them up, and then when you hit the level 4 and find those team fights, potentially that could be your winning way in towards those specific mid-game skirmishes here. And JR, he's he's back towards the frenzy here, so that's without flash. Maybe if Zoe charges towards him, that could be a death sentence.
And speak of the power pike of Neja, actually this hero needs at least level 6 or at least get one item, allowing him to do so.
Oh, the voting coming in from AG.AL fans is just so superb. Just winning over Aurora in the past 2 games, and even in the Shadow Overlord voting, they are also riding the pit.
And I mean, like I mentioned about some troubles that AG might face. It's gonna be some
nice knockup coming in from Zihong here, and one more jump from Yulong takes the isolation kill. Sheng pops the ultimate here to get himself towards safety here, but in the 3v3 skirmishes, finally, for once in the series, Aurora wins it.
I do like how Aurora is trying to attack in the mid in such a proactive way. It's kind of like unexpected.
And this is needed. AG.AL's drop is super late game, and Yulong is finding so much damage on towards side of Sheng. Skyfall comes in, might be punishing Yulong for his over-aggression here, but the fight stops right here because there's just not enough damage right now for this early game.
And I mean, like, Flowborn Tank can be so dominating in the early game because of the tankiness and also the controllability this hero has, allowing Yulong just lead the whole pace for Aurora Gaming in the early game.
For Aurora Gaming, they need to break AG.AL in the early to mid game because you have 4-5 late game heroes coming in for side of AG.AL. If you allow them to scale, I don't think Aurora has a chance in the late game.
So I do believe that Aurora is going to put the top lane under pressure again and again, and right now it's going to be some initiation coming out from Shy.
JR.
Getting down, outie, trade out.
That's good. At the very least, Shy didn't hit the Unbridled Outburst. If he did hit, that could be CC Chain, Yino's ultimate pushing him towards the wall, and he gets taken out. But that's good news for Aurora Gaming, as you want them to actually try because they are crowned as potentially 2026 best non-KPL team coming in towards the tournament. Yes, they lost to Rock Esports, but now against AG.AL, the tournament defenders, title defenders, they need to see whatever shot that they have.
I feel like Aurora, they kind of just slow down and with full of composure, they're trying to contest AG in a more smoother way, but like peaceful way, that make a lot of trades happening right now instead of just being so committed into get one kill down.
I think it's okay. At the very least, 1,000 gold lead.
Nice,
finally, some gold lead for Aurora Gaming. So that's going to be comfortable going into that 4th minute mark if they can find the play itself. A Shuai at the back might be casting the Unbridled Outburst. Nice CC cancel coming in from JR. He was reading that play, I would say.
I feel like he's played the game in such a beautiful way, right? Baiting out and just kiting like a 1 versus 3.
Sheng going towards the pit, finds his spears. Unbridled Outburst carrying us from the back line here. Zihong gets marked down. He finds the escape route, but in the midst of everyone here, the marks are marking every single member of Aurora Gaming. JR, he's all the way towards the back line here. He's in danger, but Tyrant gets secured. Zoe still gets the clear on towards the top side as a mini steal.
And right now they're rotating down. Check JR's passing. They are actually winning the upper hand. And Aurora's getting into the red buff jungle on the side of AG.
Nice engage coming in for Shuai, but this is what we talked about, right? Your composition is super mid-late game. So even if you get like a beautiful knockup coming in from the side of Shuai, there's just no follow-up damage overall. And with that, Tyrant secured, Crimson Golem stolen away, Aurora Gaming, they are on track.
And especially right now, Yulong with this Flowborn Tank. Actually, Flowborn Tank can not only deal damage, but also the tankiness allowing him to soak in all those damage dealt by AG and just give them enough, like sufficient vision control in Game 3.
We've saw that before from the game of Zoe playing the Flowborn Tank against, if I'm not mistaken, Vitality or Blacklist. Yeah, you have so much tankiness and you're bullying heroes that don't have consistent DPS. So for AG.AL, it's about waiting for Yino's 3-item power spike.
So true. And also wait for this Umbrosa. In that case, they're actually doing some lane swapping. As you can see, put Haino down to do this 1-1 confront against this Aguda, because we know that's the reason why they're picking out this Haino. But some trouble happening right now in the mid. We can see Aurora just playing really aggressively in this 5 minutes.
They're just here to take that mid lane tower here. Very well played coming in from Aurora Gaming here. Yulong playing with his strength here. He's really tanky, but he's getting slowly but surely chipped down by the members. Undying pop by the side of Ron. Strike is dangerously low. Nice knockup on towards no one. He does get towards Sheng, but the consistent DPS catches JR as a stray onto his side lane.
I feel like AG, they just think one step ahead against Aurora, because Aurora, after they take down that tier 1 tower, it's kind of of like, okay, mission complete, we're just gonna be feedback and we're just gonna retreat and just farm out a little bit more. But as AG.AL, right? Alright, towers down, but what about down face ulti, right? Getting in, chasing, and also Umbrosa staying undying, just putting out all those damage.
The spear coming in from Sheng is what makes it amazing. Chunking down JR, by the time JR used all his spells, it's really too little today. It's like, oh no, I brought Frenzy, not the Flash, and he got taken down. I can accept any single one of Aurora Gaming falling, but if JR a late game probably falls, that could be a big news for Aurora Gaming.
And I feel like from that skirmish just happened, actually just bought AG more time. Actually, they're trying to counter-attack against Aurora this time.
What a scary momentum that AG.AL has found towards them. Zihong finds the elevation here, but doesn't find on towards a target here. But they do get the Crimson Golem. But when all this is happening, Ron gets a free tower on towards the bottom side.
I mean, Ryan's definitely had his good time at the bottom, right? Just doing those push-ins because Aurora, they can be really great. Speaking of those initiation, but speak as a split push, their lack of hero that is capable of doing that.
It reminds me of Game 2 and Game 1, where early game looks pretty 50-50, but when one small play happens for AG.AL, they start stepping on the pedal and then accelerate the game. Just now we saw Aurora Gaming 2 minutes ago, 1k goal lead. And with a switch of 1 kill, it's now in AG.AL's control once again.
But I mean, speak of Game 3, actually the goal difference is quite even, which is very optimistic on the side of Aurora Gaming.
It's something that we want to see being held 50-50 all the way to the 10th minute mark. Now, positioning coming in from Aurora Gaming, they're looking to maybe infiltrate this Crimson Golem.
But it's kind of a little bit difficult since Shy, with his ulti being already, is still guarding the entrance of this red buff.
Not a good choice for Aurora Gaming here. Ron finds JR in towards the backline, finds a bit of damage here just to chunk him out. Meanwhile, all this is happening. Zoe's like, you don't need me. Let me just split push towards the top side. Like exactly what Ron is doing. This is so smart from the side of AG.AL.
And that's the experience that we always talk about that AG has, right? Because they've been played together as a team for over like 2 years right now. So coordination is definitely out there.
2 years and multiple championships, 6 KPL titles, 1 KWC title here, and towards the top side, they are not stopping. They want to invade this. Sheng, very low, can use the ultimate to get a refresh here. Xiang goes over and gets taken down by the spears as the first target here. Shuai finds a beautiful stampede and stun, taking down JR. Meanwhile, Ron with an amazing flash, silencing Yulong for his intent, and Zihong also falls. Saber, last to be available on this play, and Yino finds the final kill. Minions are available topside. Is this the game-winning push?
I mean, it only started with 1 punch, but Aurora just collapsed by the side of AG. They aced Aurora, and it hasn't been 10 minutes mark.
Back to the replay here, we see Sheng stacking the initial spears on towards Xiang. Xiang is like really low right now, taking so much spear damage here. It was looking good. Zihong finds a beautiful elevation here. Purify coming in from Sheng to disengage. As of this point, Xiang has already overextended himself. 5v4. Everything goes in line with AG as they just pick up one after another.
And since the battlefield is totally like separated, you can see the individual performance that we highlight back into the draft just totally being so outstanding from the replay.
When no one is aiming Yinwo, he gets free ground, he gets free hits, and that is exactly what happens here. Now, 10-minute mark right now, 5,000 goal lead. I think if you're on Aurora Gaming side, you need a good play. You need a miracle.
But you know what? Like, actually, they did really well in the early game. So it's kind of like everything just collapsed in one moment or one motion that they did when they play against AG. So it's kind of a little bit difficult for them. So that's the reason why they're seeking for those dragon trades, trying to buy them more time.
Ron is here. He spots out this play that's happening here. He gets elevated. He steals it! Over 5 members of Aurora Gaming. That is a nightmare for the MKL champions.
Could you believe it? And Umbrosa at the top lane, and Red just being the single hero playing so individually beautiful. Getting the Dragon Staff again. It's going to be the double Dragon Staff. Goes over to AG so far today.
If you think it is already bad, that just made it worse. With the Overlord Vanguard secured, it's going to be 3 marching waves into the base of Aurora Gaming. This is not stopping yet. Ron gets caught by the first elevation here. He pops the Undying, wants to go for an aggressive trade. He gets isolated down. That's a saving grace for Aurora Gaming. At the very least, next few minutes will be 5v3.
I mean, definitely it's going to be really frustrated for Aurora to lose that Vanguards, but they did really nice pushback, right? Targeting at Shen first and take Ren down one by one. Just bought them time to clean all those Vanguards and just even the game again.
Take a look at this replay on how the steal exactly happened here. They didn't know Ron was here. Ron comes in, he gets knocked out by the elevation. He already precast a spell too, and he got the steal over 5 members of Aurora Gaming.
So that's the reason why Aurora just being so furious about take Shen down, you know?
My goodness here. As an MKL fan, that's gonna be a heartbreak.
Yeah, but still, after they just take Ren down, they just kind of equalized the whole pace. But still, 5,000 gold lead goes over to AG, just kind of led them to have the ability to pushing forward steadily.
AG.AL still needs to be careful here. There is a lot of crowd control coming in from Xiang, Yulong, and also Zihong, so they need to split up the positioning here. Don't let them find a beautiful wombo combo.
And also, just trying to do more poking damage before the team fight really initiated, right? Utilize the Agudo feature that it has.
And I like the point that you pointed out just now at the pre-game draft. Sheng has been amazing throughout the past 2 games. Yes, everyone has been really great, but Sheng, Shuai, they have been stepping up so hard in their games.
I do like the way how they're initiating and also the poking damage dealt by Shen's Hano, right? Because he's the main reason why they're picking out this hero, trying to take that Agudo down.
That's going to be an ultimate not available coming in from the side of Xiang. Good reposition coming in from Yino's Arlie here. Now, it's going to be slow and steady until we find a bit of a mistake coming in from either teams.
So the minions, all 3 minions are actually arriving at the high ground tower simultaneously.
Well, first play coming in from Sheng. He has to pop the Faith Rewind and the Purify. That's going to be an important cooldown unavailable for the next few seconds here. It looks like AG.AL, you want to play slow. You want to go for the next set of Shadow objectives.
And rely on Ino giving him the red buff, allowing this hero to do a lot of poking damage, right? And combined with Hano's poking damage, they're playing a more like smart way on the side of AG.
They're just playing so smart, like you mentioned, where Ino, he's uncontested, unbothered, 2-0 and 2 on that early, consistently finding those poke damages here, and clock is ticking for Aurora Gaming here. 25 seconds on the Shadow Overlord, 30 seconds on that Tyrant. Next wave, once it's cleared, Aurora Gaming might need to find a miracle fight.
I mean, but the miracle, the problem is that how they're gonna make the miracle happen without enough burst out damage, right? Because you can see the control ability always went so nice by this Dharma and also Lorian skill 3. But the thing is that the damage isn't that sufficient.
It's not. You can see Xiang is just tickling Ron as of this point, and we can talk about all the CC layering coming from Xiang, Yulong, Zihong, but if you can't do the finishing blow on towards Sheng, those spears will just keep reproducing and stacking on towards you. So for Aurora Gaming, their main target is actually Yino. If they can bring Yino down, then maybe, just maybe, they have a ray of hope in towards this game 3.
But how they're gonna targeting at this mobile early pick around the team fight, the only man that they may face against will be Ran or Shy.
Exactly the case. Now, with double objectives being secured by the side of AG.AL, they are looking to formulate that final push into Aurora Gaming's base. They're looking for that match point right now, Aurora.
Vanguards are on their way at the bottom. They're trying to make something happen at the bottom. They're just testing, baiting, trying to secure the victory, and it's gonna be Ran again, go for 1v1.
They just need to play it slow right now. There's not enough damage to even take down Ran or Sheng in these team fights. So they can just play as they please. As long as they don't overextend, it's pretty much fine.
They're playing such a swift but deft way, and as you can see, the poking damage actually went very well on the side of JR's Aguda. It's gonna be Dharma getting in a 1 punch. Upon Ran breaking out the ulti, just escape away safely.
Now Skyfall onto the side of JR, only for a bit of a poke damage here. Aurora Gaming, they hold on strong once again, because Aurora Gaming Zihong found a nice damage output onto his Sheng, chunking him down for the team fights. Now it's for AG.AL to heal up, recuperate, come in for potentially this bottom tier tree.
They are trying to get this high ground tower down at the bottom, making them a winning lane at the bottom at the same time.
They got it, and they are backing up. Aurora Gaming having no chance whatsoever in finding any potential comebacks. But good Good news, you still have that mid lane tier 3. Bad news, it's about a 10,000 gold lead.
And I do want to highlight one feature that Aurora, this team has, right? Because we know that they actually lost in the previous group stage, but the game when they lost, they always hold it into like 17 or 18 minutes. But the game, as they win, they just win it in a really fast and clean way with around like 11 minutes.
So you're saying Aurora Gaming, when they don't get the early game lead, they will have to stall the game into the backline. So Yino gets caught out. He's being taken low. He has to back away towards safety here. Meanwhile, JR gets tagged by the Skyfall in towards the backline. So he has to bail out. But space has been created for the side of Yino to potentially take down this tier 3. But that was really close for the AG farm lane.
But will you call it as a bait or not? Because as you can see, Yino actually leave one of his Parasaur behind, so just let him to escape away from that kind of enclosing.
That was really dangerous to be talking out as a bait, but I believe it's Yino. He can calculate that damage precision here, so props to him.
But I do like the way Aurora is trying everything that they can, right? Find some opportunity for them, and especially for Yulong, this time his Floorborn tank is doing all his best.
He's starting to scale off, right? Floorborn tank is really strong in the early to mid game, but when it comes to the late game, he sort of becomes a tanky hero, but you're just a punching bag.
Yeah, but the controllability, like consistent controllability, allowed them to give Agudo more time to poke him. But as we can see, Heino, it pokes even much than this Agudo.
Zihong is holding really, really well for Aurora
It's so
Gaming.
hard for him,
look
you
at
know.
this. The orbs are just jabbing onto Sheng left and right. So the next big play that we might see coming from AG.AL and Aurora Gaming might be the flip of the Shadow objective. At the 17-minute mark, yeah, you have the goal lead, but I would say that every single player on both teams are starting to march into those late game item powers, like 6 item slots.
Well, speak of the item, actually, it's kind of like all fully decked out due to both teams, so which also allowing Aurora to play it more head-to-head.
Yeah, you know, finding a bit of a damage here with the help of Sheng. They want to poke down this mid-tier 3, but with the elevation coming in from the side of Zihong, it's really hard to march in towards high ground. But with the Shadow objectives, they are currently set for their sights for that final push later on.
And I do like the item that Zoe just made, the Siege Breaker. It's kind of just giving them the opportunity to make that last-ditch effort upon this Agudo, because the reason why we mentioned JR just plays so painful is that not only he needs to soak in all those damage down by Shadow poking damage, and also suffering from Zoe's gag.
And he has choices, right? If he wants to go for the Agudo, he can fly in. If he wants to go for Zihong, he can pop the Splendor as well. So Zoe has a lot of options and a lot of damage in his arsenal.
Not even mentioned to with that Siege Breaker, and also Siege Breaker for Xiao this
They
time.
want to one-shot the backline carries. They need Emo, they need JR. Whoever falls first might be game over.
Wow, it's gonna be the time for AG trying to enclose the game. They are just sending all those vanguards all 3 lane. Ambrosia on his way, Ran being one of the threats.
Oh, Hino has to dodge the first elevation here, but beautiful Brighter Outburst coming in from Shuai, taking down Zihong without even him using his flash or Splendor here. In towards the base, Rod is still alive, has the Sage Sanctuary. Crystal is exposed. Hino gets taken down by the side of Xiao, but 3 members are down. JR is still looking for the game, winning defense, but it's too late as the Crystal is exposed. Rod gets the final hit for the game 3 match point for AG.AL.
I mean, it went so chaotic at the last team fight, but it went so well. AG.AL. 3 wins in a row, directly putting them into the match point.
And we also see growth from time to time coming in from Aurora Gaming. Game 1 was a speed blitz coming in from AG.AL. Game 2 started being better. Game 3 started being better, but time is running out. Next game is your final shot.
I mean, like, it's always going to be a little bit too late for Aurora to do the pushback. At the last team fight, we almost thought like, oh wow, is this going to be the miracle happening that we're seeing? But AG.AL just denied it.
And Zihong, he got caught by Shuai's Zhangfei's ultimate. He couldn't click the flash. He couldn't click the Splendor. He was taken down. If Zihong was there in the final fight, maybe, just maybe, Aurora Gaming had a chance to defend the Crystal.
But we mentioned about maybe so many times today when they play against AG.AL, and also a lot of maybe really happened in the previous early game, right? You can see that the Floorborn can make a lot of things happen, but this time I would definitely give my credit to Ran, the Ambrosia. Check out the Dragon Theft, and also the last team fight, Ambrosia just coming at the rear, causing such a great damage down and also threat upon Aurora Gaming.
Oh my god, you remind me of that play, the Overlord. If it went over to the side of Aurora Gaming, if it could have led them into maybe later stages of the game without losing the outer turrets here. But these are the few moments that one small play coming in from AG.AL expanded the game indefinitely. That gave the lead to AG, and this steal, oh my goodness.
Why you always do this to us? But anyway, you can see like we are representing all our audience to see the hype.
And the hype is continuing as we pass it over to Randy and the panel. You guys take it away.
Thank you, Sagi and Nora. We'll never apologize for seeing some good emotion to kick off what is an amazing series. And now, as I say kick off, I'm reminded that we're only one game away from match point. Elation there for Aurora Gaming in some moments, but they can't put it together quite yet for a victory. It was AG.AL who take the win yet again, but not for the fact that Aurora also defended stalwartly for so long. These games keep getting longer, Chantel and Ken, and the benefit of seeing this is it feels like Aurora is putting some of the pieces together. It's maybe the wrong version where you're kind of on the back foot still and you haven't gotten the tempo yet that you want to where you're making AG.AL respond to you as much, but man, it's not easy. This is not an easy game. These are two talented teams giving it all that they have.
Definitely not easy, specifically for Aurora Gaming, and it was perfectly put by the casters. They're saying that for Aurora Gaming, they're slowly building that momentum. It's just that for AG.AL, they're currently at a match point. But it all boils down again to the execution when it comes to on how to finish the team fights. Because if you look at the total hero composition of Aurora Gaming, it means that they want to focus on the crowd controls. You have the Agudo, same with the Flowborn. So there was a bit of a flank attempt on most cases, specifically on the early game. It's just that it was answered by the Neja pick of AG. So every time Aurora Gaming wants to go for an initiation, you have the Neja on the clash lane doing the split push, then it becomes the superhero of that team fight. Here comes the superhero, here comes Superman, and ends that team fight with a win.
Yeah, and actually Ron was actually doing a lot of the split pushing himself, but it was more of that Aurora Gaming, they came out firing, right? This lineup is kind of made up for that, and that's what I expected Aurora Gaming to do, was continue to steamroll, but AG.AL are like, no, we're a late game composition, we're gonna weather this storm, and of course, when Yunuo gets an Arlie, I was like, GG, go next.
Yeah, the Arlie and the Diadea, a combo that has been used a bit, and I was talking about it earlier with Isaac, he was pointing it out. They didn't care about that. The first pick came through. Is she that strong?
Yeah, no, well, she's incredibly strong with Yunuo, right?
Who's not, though, I guess, right?
But no, very mechanically difficult hero. You make one mistake, you're out of position once, you're just gonna be decimated, right? And Yunuo, you just saw multiple times in these highlights where he just barely survives because he knows the absolute limits of this hero.
And I also saw that being a team effort, Chantel. There was no moment that he was isolated for too long. You saw somebody on the roam coming over to support somebody in the clash lane. You mentioned the Naja having presence everywhere. Part of that was that we're not going to leave you out here isolated because you're a win condition for us.
Yeah, definitely. And for most cases, it's more on the familiarity on the side of AG.AL. I mean, everyone is moving swiftly all throughout the map. There were a lot of moments that Aurora Gaming had a good chance of initiation. I think we will see that on the highlights later, wherein they went in for an initiation, but at the same time, AG.AL has these tendencies to group up and support whichever player is being threatened by Aurora Gaming. So they're really fast to react, and they know how to get away on that threat coming in from Aurora Gaming.
They really do. Guys, I know you have some telestration for us. What do we see here?
Yeah, okay. So I think it was this clip. This was around 8 minutes of our game.
Yeah, this is that moment where things are tied 1 versus 1, and then you see AG.AL with this massive team fight where they just get the ace off of this. The way that they're able to, again, go in and out, control them. Nobody's at, yes, they're very low, but look at how he gets back. He doesn't get killed, and they're looking to dive, even diving the T3 because they do not care. They understand they're in a great spot as they get that ace.
And take note that on the first part of that initiation, it was actually Aurora Gaming. So they started the team fight first. That's why we said that for AG, they know how to somehow switch the tempo of the team fight, probably go for the counter initiate. They have this tendencies to group up and win that take against the Aurora Gaming.
Well, is this what you guys have, or do you have another clip?
We have another clip.
Okay.
Of
I don't want.
course,
I'm not the guy to cut to for the analysis, by the way, here. So keep going until you're ready.
I mean, when you're looking at this one, you're thinking all 5 members of the Aurora Gaming, we're going to steal this, but Ron is like all by himself. He takes that steal right under their noses, right? As crazy as it is, because Aurora is, again, trying to use that to come back into this game, and Ron just shuts that door.
That was a really big play. That was a momentum shift, it seemed like.
Definitely.
If Aurora had gotten that, I mean, are we looking at a different game?
Probably they could take down at least 2 towers against the
I would think
AG.AL
that, yeah.
because they could have taken the Overlord. But that was my biggest takeaway on that game, because it's as if Aurora Gaming didn't know that there's a possibility for some of the players of AG.AL to be on that side of the map.
True.
Because for most cases, at least 1 or 2 players would try and find as to where the other players are.
So here's how my mind works. I'm naturally an athlete, naturally a competitor. I know many of you are as well, and we love sports. If I'm in a position where I keep losing to a team, and we talk about why, and we look at these things, and that's not the reason, I need to discover why, because there is something happening here. For those just watching, seeing this dominance, if you're not familiar with HOK, this is odd. This is odd because there is no mistake, it seems like, is big enough to challenge these teams. And AG.AL is just another showcase of what KSG did earlier on in the day. So in your best way to explain it, because I like what you said, it's not about the draft. They're not getting outplayed there. It is the execution. What is it about the execution that you've seen AG.AL be so crisp with that is creating these continuous leads and wins in these series?
Let me try to create an analogy for this one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this like chess.
Okay.
Right? You're going up against the Grand Master, right? He's seen everything at the end of the day. You might be able to have a good early start. You might take some pieces. You might have a little bit of an advantage. But at the end of the day, when that mid-game happens, the transition, he's had so many years of experience that he's able to kind of like wushu whatever you throw at them, right? So it's about that execution.
I like that.
I talk about it all the time, but again, it's just more years of experience.
That is a great way to visualize it too, because I think anyone walking in the street sits down at a park, you know there's somebody who's a grandmaster. Right. You're not expecting to beat them, even if you play them 100 times, right, Chantel?
Yeah, definitely. And I think at this point for Aurora Gaming, the biggest problem is after winning a team fight, what's next?
Right.
It's more like them just focusing on early aggressions.
Yeah.
It's more like them focusing just on the warm-ups,
Yeah.
but not what's next after those warm-ups.
They're doing these small things right, but the whole picture is still at some point.
Yes.
It like I love it. I love the big picture element of it. So as you can see, joining us here, it's close to a 4-0. It may end up being that way, but there's so much in between. We're trying to keep giving you that information so you can learn what's separating you and maybe some of your ranked games when you're playing Honor of Kings on your phone a little bit later this afternoon. All right, in the meantime, we had a chance to catch up with AG.AL and do a fun one thanks to STC. We got to check out how quick their draw ended up being.
Hello， 大家好，我是02，来到我们 EWC 的特别节目啦。今天我们邀请到了钟毅和大帅，我们先请两位打个招呼。
Hello， 大家好，我是 AG.AL 钟毅。
Hello， 大家好，我是 AG.AL 大帅。
两位还在倒时差，是不是现在有点活人微死的感觉？
其实今天已经把时差倒过来了吧，睡了10多个小时，但是还是没睡。
哦，睡了10多个小时啊，还可以哈。那大帅这边呢，感觉好像精神头要更好一些。
其实我也准备等着回去补觉了。
都等着回去比较好。那我们今天这个游戏也非常的快速，跟两位说一下，我面前有一个正确与否的2个牌子，所以我们今天感觉是在做一些判断题。当我说出了这个题目之后的话，你们需要快速做出反应。时间了，我们直接开始 True or False。第一题。补刀最后一击击杀小兵可以额外获得50%的金币。3、2、1 ，OK， 你们可以给镜头展示一下，到时候怎么有点犹豫呢？我们一会儿就是不能互相偷看哈，要看上我们的镜头哈。
好，
第一题回答正确，
我只看镜头。
好，第二题对，看镜头啊。后羿是全游戏基础普攻射程最长的英雄。3、2、1。哎，你刚刚先拿了这个，然后换成那个，什么意思？
因为我在思考加罗的1算不算，然后一听感觉你说的是基础普攻，我就说
算啊，这道题是错的，就是伽罗，所以他错了。你本来
你不是说基础普攻吗？
对呀，你要相信自己。
那一技能不算技能吗？
就是他打开那个一技能之后，他也算他的普攻射程不就变长了，对吧？他也算啊，他打开那个，所以你本来第一时间是对的。
因为我想的是你说的这是基础普攻，
你要相信自己，对，他也算他的普攻了。好，来下一道题，大乔使用2技能将队友传送回基地时，会清除该队友身上的负面效果的异常状态。3、2、1。哎，这道题来给镜头展示一下，有一点分歧，来吧，你们各自陈述一下。
可以吗？
我记得是可以的吧？我大乔之前的技能都是可以，我记得。
是可以的，正确啊，
可以吗？
他现在领先了啊，终于。白起的被动技能在受到伤害时，有20%的概率自动触发1技能血之回响。哎，有一些分歧，来 battle 一下吧。
那是1技能的被动啊？啊，他转圈是1技能，
好像是啊。
对啊，我是说的1技能啊。
啊，你说的不是他的被动吗？
我说。等一下，再听一下题目哈。白起的被动技能在受到伤害时，有20%的概率自动触发1技能。
那肯定是错的呀。
你来 battle 一下。
被动啊。
啊。你来 battle。
你说的那个技能效果是1技能带的效果。
对啊，我是说的1技能，但
你
觉得我要说一下1技能？我不学1技能。
他不学1技能哪会可以啊
？OK， 那大帅还是暂时领先。来，咱们最后一道题哈，和钟无艳对同一个目标触发石化效果的冷却间隔是10秒。
啊？
回答啊，2个又回答正确了哈。钟无艳的话，他的被动石化对同一个敌方英雄在8秒内只能生效1次，而不是10秒。大帅这边要领先一些哈。OK， 那怎么样？2位那个
我有奖励吗？有
奖励的。你想要什么样的奖励？是综艺给你发奖励。OK， 好，那我们谢谢2位，我们比赛再见啦，拜拜。
Those questions were kind of hard. I'll play an easier version. Does Guan Yu ever get on a horse?
No. Yeah, just kidding.
Wrong, he does.
Of course he does.
Honestly, those questions were tough.
Yeah.
Right? And I actually felt a little bit better when I saw that Zoe was getting some of those incorrect.
Yeah.
And I was like, if a finals MVP can get them wrong, I can too.
That's right. Gives us permission to be human.
Maybe that's the secret of being the great player, being a great player, knowing some of the countdown as well, the 10 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. I think you just need to know big picture, right? At the end of the day, if he's coming at you and he's killing you, he doesn't care about the details.
Yeah, and it kind of goes to the experience too. I'm so many thousands of hours played in this game. All of those things become second nature. You don't actually process them. I always reckon this like somebody who's teaching a great sport, but is like the greatest of all time in the sport. They don't remember how to pass. They just pass. They know how to pass. Teaching you to lock your ankle and move your foot this way, it's too basic. These guys, they know the big picture and they continue to do it. And big picture, Chantel, now heading into this, AG.AL are match point.
Now, the biggest question for Aurora Gaming is how they're able again to clean that execution. I mean, the idea is already there. It's just that they need to clean up whatever, do the housekeeping as much as possible.
It's like that one big team fight changes and alters the entire game. And they're playing defensively and they're not allowed out of their base, right? The containment, that full court press, if you will, by AG.AL is just on another level. They're controlling everything, and Aurora not even able to play their game. They're usually the more aggressive team. They have not been so today.
Well, one game to decide if this continues on or if AG.AL will be booking their ticket to the semifinal. Let's send it back over to Sagi and Nora to close us out or keep us going.
Of course, we want to keep it going, Rain Day. Thank you for passing it back. It's Sagi and Nora once again on your microphones here, and we are going into the draft for potentially Game 4, the final game for AG.AL against Aurora Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's only one game to go on the side of AG, getting that spot, going into the semifinal, and at this time, they go for this Ogre pick.
Well, that's the FMVP coming in from 2025 and his own skin itself. That's Zoe's signature pick thus far. What's Aurora Gaming planning here? I like the idea. Go for the late game on towards our JR. JR has been having a pretty decent game. Every single game that we've seen so far, he's on the weak side. They're playing for the side of Xiang. Maybe, just maybe, this game, swap it over to side of JR and play for him.
Yeah, so this time, actually, they are holding this JR to play a channel, which means that everyone just being play around him, right? Just build up a really tanky front lane, trying to play around JR. That's going to be the strategy for them to do so. And also, I do appreciate this Anat pick because I do think Anat is kind of OP in this patch. And it's going to be the first Anata play down by Aurora so far in KWC.
And this is the interesting way, right? Why do we say that Anet is actually really strong? Yes, you have the ultimate that is an AoE clanks like Zhuangzi, but you can engage with it. We have seen so many players throughout the entirety of this tournament in KWC. F1 from Vitality, Ze from GK. They play this hero flawlessly, and coming in for a decider match, it's time for Aurora Gaming to bring out all their secret picks. Whatever you have planned for semifinals, forget about it. Bring it right here, right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this kind of gives me the feeling that this is the first Anat appearance on the side of Aurora. We mentioned about 3 cards already being wasted, right? So is it going to be their secret weapon in Game 4?
There's no rejection on that question. It has to be. If it's not, then it's a ticket home for Aurora Gaming as a top 8 exit. So it's a bit of a heartache if you're an MKL fan, but they need to find something here. They need to.
And speak of that, maybe they're just using some tankiness that they can have, right, to play around JR this time. But as we step to AG's draft, you can see, like, because they're only 1 point away from that spot, so they're trying to solidify the whole composition, picking out this Aoying at the bottom, and also the sustainability that Dai there with this Ogren has, allowing them to gain a lot of vision control and do a lot of invasions. And Devara on the top. This time I wouldn't think that Ran is going to suffer in the early game because of the Devara pick.
I think we have to see the final pick coming in for the side of Xiang here.
Okay.
So far throughout the entire series, it has been multiple players playing with Xiang, Yulong, Zihong, and also Saber. They're like repeatedly knocking on towards Ran's door. It's like, hey buddy, you're farming, let me disturb you for a bit. And then they bail out with the teleportation sprite. But this again is the AG.AL playstyle. 1, 2, 3 late game heroes, and they are solely relying on the strength coming in from Zoe and Shuai to equalize out that early game.
And if I want to put one man under the spotlight in Game 4 on the side of AG, I would say it's going to be Shen playing this new one, because we already seen how great that Shen played so far in today's matchup, right? Not even mentioned to New It's kind of like one of his signature hero, and kind of promising that they can grab a clean and secured win in their match point.
It's a bit of a heartbreak here, and if you are on the side of Zihong, JR, and Xiang, this is not the first time they have faced Yinluo. Back in 2024, where we had our invitationals mid-season, when Yinluo won his first EWC title, he was matched against LGDMY, and that was the roster comprising of Zihong, JR, and Xiang. But when this last game, is this the final one that Aurora Gaming will be playing? Because to me, AG.AL in this Game 4, if they can hold to the late game, this will be a clean finish for the defending title champions.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's just dive right into Game 4. Well, it's going to be AG grab that spot, get into the semifinal, or it's going to be the first Aurora Gaming that they can play against AG by winning 1 point.
We have yet to see any KPL teams drop a single point to global teams in this year. So we are still waiting for that. Maybe it's this game, maybe it's not. Who knows? Let's check it out.
Just check the bottom first. You can see AG already win the upper hand by this duel. The idea and Aoying definitely gonna do good. And it's gonna be another 1-1 melee fight on the top.
Oh, no flash onto Ran. Gets knocked out by the skill 2 coming in from Zihong, but he finds the counter kill onto his side of Xiang.
I mean, that's what I said, right? Ran, by using all those heroes he played in the previous match, was definitely gonna be a little bit painful in the early game. But with Devara, he's gonna shine out.
And take a look at the replay here. Frenzy Pop coming in for the side of Ran. He gets caught by the early game damage from Zihong, but the refresh and the skill 2 stun lock made sure that Xiang couldn't find the flash escape.
Yeah, these detailed mechanics that Ran did, allowing him to guard the first kill, even actually made it as a solo.
Oh, that was just beautiful stuff coming in from Ran. First 3 games for the side of Aurora Gaming, it was always about targeting Ran, and this time they brought one less member, which is Saber. He made a 1v2 outplay against that.
So that's kind of a little bit troublesome for Aurora Gaming to do, because already they're facing 1,000 gold deficit.
Too early to suffer this gold deficit, and that's without even clearing this mid-wave here for AG.AL. This is going to be pushing further and further if they actually want to have a chance. But on a good side, JR is a very late game farm lane, so that could be a bit of a, I would say, chance or opportunity for Aurora Gaming.
But we mentioned about the late game so much, how they're going to defend themselves in the early mid stage. That's going to be very crucial.
Oh, aggressive.
stepping
Advances
in.
going in. We do see Strike coming in down for JR. That's a beautiful knockup into the CC lock. And JR falls. This is because JR had to burn the flash prior to this play.
I mean, like, we're always going to be impressed by Eno's choice, you know? Because once he break house LT, everyone thought, like, okay, it's going to be his time to retreat back into his tier 1 tower at the bottom. But on the opposite, Eno always going to go for that kill.
So decisive coming in from the farm lane player Yino of the side AG.AL. And the moment we went in, Shuai Sheng immediately pops out of nowhere and assists his farm lane for that kill.
So the synergy is definitely out there, allowing AG to do a lot of ganks happen at the side lanes.
And 3 minutes, already 2,000 gold lead. This is not what you want to see. You drafted a Zlia, you drafted a Channel, but you're set so far behind at only 3 minutes. If you want to stall into big item power spikes for the Channel, it's gonna take like what, 15 minutes?
I mean, it's all about the snowballing, right? Because we know that AG is really good at scaling up. So if Aurora can't do some fair trades in the early stage, that will put them into such a great deficit.
Yino has no flash, no ultimate, getting caught by the whirlwind pool. But Shuai coming in with the ultimate flash, saving his farm lane for further danger. Here Zoe wants to chase, but a good rotation coming in from Zihong disengages them for safety here.
That was so on time that Shai was there saving Eno, just brought him back to life.
If he wasn't there, he could have been taken down. That's the amazing part about the mid roam coming in from AG.AL. Very fast. And JR, buddy, your flash is gone once again.
I mean, it's reaching to the 4 minutes mark, which will put AG.AL on the advantage.
The only good part, Yulong is actually farming really fast compared to Zoe. That's the level advantage. But if we elevate our eyes to the gold lead, 2,000 still. How do they come back from this?
Well, I would say that's something to do with the ideas, actually, you know, because the ideas ability, right, allowing him to steal away some of the goals on the opponent's side and just accelerating AG's farming pace.
JR has no flash. The teleportation comes through. A lot of damage laying down onto his JR. He's so low, but infinite fastness coming in from Yino, taking him down as the first initial kill. That's not all. Ron comes down, pops the Millennium Echo towards the backline, finding Yulo for a 1v1 play, but Saber in the midst of 5 AG.AL members. This is absolute domination from all gamers.
I mean, AG is definitely destroying their opponents from the bottom side. And could you expect that that's what's an initiation coming out from the idea from Shai?
The moment he saw JR without flash walking in his own jungle, he's like, Sheng, watch me. He drops in, he gets the crowd control, and Yino goes in for the finishing play. Such a beautiful coordination coming in from AG.
Like one motion, one movement needs to be done, then everyone just coming for backup.
Aurora Gaming, they're losing confidence thus far in this 5th minute mark. It's such a crucial game.
I feel like the last game that they played, it's kind of be a little bit frustrated. So the way that played is kind of showing that I'm not sure about if their mindset still keeping on there or not.
I think at this point for Aurora Gaming is for the enjoyment of the game. See how far they can actually stall against AG.AL. Because with this control, with this line of the AG has drafted for himself, it's super late game, but with this super late game draft, AG still managed to find the lead of already 4,000 at 6 minute mark.
So back on track, if they want to hold it on, we will say that Yulong's monkey with this and that. Firstly, like just guarantee that they still got the vision control against AG.AL and let Channel to have more time to farm up.
Correct. We need Channel to be level 15. Zihong pouring some EXP towards him. Some big key items here. So they need to stall the game. 15 minutes, 17 minutes, that could be their game-winning timer. For now, the defense, this mid tower needs to stay up for Aurora Gaming. If this falls, that could be danger for Aurora.
So that's why from now on, we may see a lot of skirmishes happen in the mid lane, right, around those towers. And also for AG, if they want to snowball the game, definitely they need to take the tier 1 tower down.
We're looking for a bit of a flank coming in from Yinwo. He's in this bush with Dome Vision on towards the top side here. Might be finding a bit of a damage on towards the side of Yulong. He flashes for it. He gets stuck in towards the wall. So Zihong is still available, but gets picked off by Shuai's ultimate. He's taken down. He gets cleansed away. But meanwhile, this is happening. JR and Xiang picks up a side lane gank on towards Ron.
I mean, the thing is that everything just went so...
JR!
I I mean, we're stepping on like different side, right? Because Sheng, like he's just checking every bushes that he can imagine, and outside of JR, it was so torturing that he was almost getting back.
Methodical stuff coming in from the side of AG. They chunk out Zihong, they chunk out Saber. They're looking for the mid lane tower here with that minion wave pushing towards top side. Tier 2 is down as well. So this mid lane tower, if Aurora Gaming wants to die defending it, it's goal lead for AG.AL. If they don't defend, it's also goal lead for AG.AL.
And I mean, because of the goal lead already reaching to 5,000 goal lead advantage of AG, just allowing them to do a lot of individual showcase, right? In the previous 3 matchups, if we've seen the microwaves, micro-aims, if we've seen those pushing lanes, if we've seen those team fights played by AG, this time it's gonna be individual showcases.
Side lane Ron was a solo kill, remember? And then Sheng pushing out those visions, and Shuai has been amazing on those Diadia engages here. So for Aurora Gaming, what is the plan? I need a plan from you guys. If you guys want to stay in EWC, you guys need a plan.
But I'm not so sure if they can guard the tier 1 tower or not, because Monkey, being a little bit vulnerable right now, is trying his best to clean all those minions.
Topside Xiang goes in for 1v1 against Ron.
Again.
He doesn't have flash. Sheng is ready here. Meanwhile, mid lane, Yinluo gets taken down in the midst of everyone. 1-for-1 trade once again. Thunder Resolve ×7. That means Ron is in it. He's refreshing fast on those spell ones.
It's gonna be a 1-1 trade. It's because like also be denied on the side of Aurora, allowing them to get their Tyrant and make some consolation effort.
I think what happened essentially for the side of Aurora in getting is the flash engage coming in from Saber on that whirlwind to CC lock Yinluo. Potentially we'll get a replay later on to check out what exactly happened. Shuai engages onto his Saber, has to back away.
But so far, it's quite equalized around the camp. But check the bottom, it's gonna be a 3 versus 1. I think like JR's in trouble.
And JR got taken down in that official play. Topside, this is what happened towards the side of Xiang. He gets taken down in a 1v2 situation because Sheng has been always looking on towards the map, and that was a good gang coming in from Sheng once again. Replay is Sheng, live is also Sheng.
I mean, once again, Sheng plays so well today. So good.
Oh, Xiang. Okay, it's a 1v1. Shuai is already here.
Coming in.
He still has to flash. Xiang might be caught in a midst of a 2v1, taking a lot of damage.
But the rest of Aurora is also on their way. But still, it's gonna be a denied on Xiang. So actually, Aurora, they're trying to rushing to make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, and this 10-minute mark right now, without Xiang, they can never actually contest for these shadow objectives here. This might be the downfall of Aurora Gaming, MKL's champion, in the next few minutes.
But can they suffer from that? Can they still holding to that? Because you mentioned that the game that they lost, they even make it to 17 minutes. But right now, JR trying to make some HP trade happen. That was quite decent, but he's flashed also before some.
At the very least, Shuai has a lot of healing, right? He's pumping up Yinluo back to full health. 10-minute mark, Yinluo securing his 3 items. Oh, he gets taken down dangerously low. In the meantime, Shadow Tyrant will be secured by the side of AG.AL.
Because of the gold difference, right? Like 5,000, even make it to 6,000 gold lead. As the scaling is always so entertaining to see played by AG, but also so torturing when we're looking at Aurora.
Yeah, you won't be feeling good for Aurora Gaming. Your win condition channel is 0-4. Your side lane game potential Xiang is 1-3. So they're scratching their head to see how they can actually delay this game to even longer, like the 17-18 minute marks that you mentioned.
Ooh, especially those aggression already can see played by AG.AL, right? They keep pressing on it, the ulti for ulti, and it's gonna be some HP trade, put it in such a delicate way.
Finally, the mid lane tower might be falling in favor for the side of AG.AL. It's only a bit of HP left. Ron comes in, swoops up the mid lane tower, and it finally falls at the 11th minute mark.
So the same thing that happened in the previous 3 matchups, just to remake again. But this time, well, Aurora holding them more time, because check out JR already being level 13, and I do believe Zia this time is going to upgrade him to even like over 15.
The sanctification, right, dropping on towards him. Beautiful annihilation and creation blocks, chunking every single member of Aurora Gaming. Zoe is coming. He's forcing out the flash coming in from Zihong. That's going to be a crucial cooldown unavailable. With blinking health bars here, towers will be going down in the top tier tree.
Yeah, I mean, the minions are all on their way, and check Zoe's positioning just caused a constant threat towards Aurora's positioning. So everything just being pushed forward, but in a quicker way.
AG.AL is not giving any any chance whatsoever. His Xiang goes in for an aggressive trade against Ron. Gets pushed back by the bittersweet farewell coming in from the side of Strike. Clock is ticking. Overlord will be going down soon, and Aurora Gaming's time in KWC might be over soon.
But again, they are trying to make something happen. It's going to be some ulti trade. Of course, out Ino's ulti, and since Try Splash is not available, it's going to be a good sign for Aurora to try and buy more vision control.
Very good respect coming in from AG.AL. They're like, okay, you know what gets taken very low? Let's wait for Stride to come in and heal all of us first before we continue to do the Shadow Overlord. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't want to give any single shot for Aurora Gaming to make a comeback.
I mean, the stability that they want to play and also the trust they give to Ino.
That's exactly the case. So, with the Shadow Overlord, I gotta say, MKL fans, it's not looking too good for Aurora Gaming.
It's gonna be a little bit painful, but still, AG trying to stabilize because they are actually the title defender in KWC.
Now, first tier 3 down on towards the top side here. Finding a bit of damage on towards the side of Yulong. Zilong gets taken down by the Annihilation towards the top side.
And it's gonna be very painful. At the bottom, the minions on their way, the Vanguards are on their way, and with Zhihong beat tonight, it's gonna be a 5 versus 4.
Next upcoming minute will be very crucial for Aurora Gaming here. Without the minion waves, AG are forcing down that final tier 3. The final game that Aurora Gaming will be playing here. Look at the Overlord from the bottom side.
Bottom side, that is, and Owen by using those Vanguards pushing in, keep pressing, and now at the bottom it's gonna be Devara getting in, LT being breaked, and it's gonna be 5 versus 4. Everyone just keep scratching on these kind of Vanguards.
Flashing engage coming in from the side of Saber. He gets taken down in the first initial play. AG.AL, they have the numbers advantage here. Zoe pops a blood rage, survives against Yulong. JR finds more damage. Yulong falls. That's 3 members remaining for the side of Aurora Gaming as the kingdom is about to fall for the red team. Yino drops in with the infinite fastest, but they still hold on. Minion waves are still reaching from the lanes.
I mean, that was really close for Aurora. With 3 members being sacrificed, they're gonna facing the upcoming pressure again from AG.AL. Again with those minions, it's gonna be Nuwa getting his ulti upon Zhihong straight down very much. It's getting little closer to the victory. It's gonna be minions on their way, and it's gonna be the match point. It's gonna be the spot that AG.AL secured to the semi-final.
Welcome to the semi-finals, AG.AL. They're one step closer in securing their back-to-back grand finals appearance in the KWC title. And Yinwo, he's going for his 3rd consecutive title, and no one is stopping him in his tracks.
I mean, speak of AG.AL's journey, you know, over 2 years, they've played against so many different teams and they face so many different hurdles. But every time AG just make